Hello, folks, and thank you for tuning in to the Hockey Tank Podcast. This is Sunday, October 10th, 2021, in foggy Newfoundland and Labrador. My name is Trevor Blackler, and as usual, I'm joined by the calm and clever Stephen Hale. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. I've had a few meals of turkey today and a nice Thanksgiving weekend. So it's a good weekend. How
Yeah,
about
I'd
you? How are
say.
you?
Oh man, turkey coma hit me bad today.
Yeah.
I had to go lie down and turn on my side a bit for the digestion to start going. Because man, I was no, that
Oh,
turkey almost killed me today, man.
yeah, it's a tough look, man. 4 plates of turkey for me. I mean, I shouldn't be bragging about that. I think
Oh,
maybe I'll cut that out. It's a tough look, man. A lot of
oh
turkey this
man,
weekend. I
tell me
wouldn't want to
about
be
it.
not a good week to be a turkey.
No, God, no, I wouldn't say. It's not help. I didn't do any favors to myself last night either because I got out of hockey last night at 12 o'clock. Went straight to Mary Brown's, crushed a big Mary combo with a Mountain Dew and a poutine, man. And holy Jesus, I was
But
up all
man,
night with bad guts.
nothing feels better than when you get out of that cold stadium and get a nice big Mary in the chops.
Oh, I'll tell you, man, it warmed me right up. And it warmed me right up.
Yeah,
It's like
it does
sitting
something
next
to
to a
the
fire.
soul.
Yeah, it do,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Anyway, guys, today on the pod, we're going to be talking about NHL news around the league from the past week. Then we'll throw it over to Caleb for some NHL Newfie of the week, because we all know everyone enjoys that segment. And finally, we'll predict the scoring leaders for every team this year. So that'll be pretty fun.
Yeah,
What do you say,
excited.
Steve? Should we get into the news or what?
Hit me with some of your relevant news.
Oh, yeah, I'll try to keep it as relevant as possible. So the first topic up for discussion today is Brady Tkachuk contracts isn't progressing, even though Ottawa Senators are apparently trying everything they can to get it going. What do you think? Are they going to resolve this by the beginning of the regular season, or will Brady hold out for a bit
I
longer?
I think he's going to hold out. And I think it might have to do with extra things within the contract, like signing bonuses and whatnot, because as we all know, Eugene Melnick is very cheap and he's trying to save a dollar when he can save a dollar. But I mean, he could be your future captain. So I know what Ottawa's looking at is we want this guy for 8 years at a good cap hit. But if you're gonna give him 8 years, I mean, that's a lot of opportunity for him to miss out on making more money when the cap rises. So you got to give him a sweet deal, even if it doesn't look good now. I think because he has so much potential. But I think it'll run into the season. I think it'll end up being probably five. My guess is a 5 year deal, around 8.5.
Same as
That's
Krill
that's my
around
prediction.
there.
Yeah, a little bit less than Kirill because he doesn't have the. I don't think he has as much offensive talent, but he's definitely got more leadership qualities and other things
Yeah, for sure. And
that are
his whole
valuable.
family is very good at just like
They don't
knowing their
fuck
worth and
around.
holding it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it'll come down to a 3 year deal, worth a bit more.
You could be right. Yeah.
I think he'll get 3 at 9 or so.
It's going to be close to 9, man, and it wouldn't surprise me because just it'll get to the point where Otto's like, all right, let's just get this fucking over with, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I hope he doesn't miss too much time in the regular season, though.
I hope not. I think it's too far gone now. I feel like he's going to be a little bit behind regardless, but the quicker he gets back, the better.
Oh, I think Matt Kachuk did the same thing a couple of years ago. I think he held out for a bit and then just re-upped it maybe 2 weeks into the season. So
Yeah.
it'll work out, I'm sure, for the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
So another piece of news here is Minnesota claims Rem Pitlik on waivers from Nashville. It's not really breaking news, groundbreaking news.
You heard it here first.
But as a Minnesota fan, I'd like to hear where you think he fits into that lineup. Is he depth or is he kind of a minor league kind of call up?
He's a critical piece to the future of this team.
I'd say he's in.
he's a injury piece. Somebody gets injured, throw Rem Pitlik into the lineup. And I don't know much about the guy. I know he's in Nashville, and he's probably a really good forward who works hard, but he might not have the offensive instincts. But you don't need that when you're in Minnesota because they're a very good defensive team. So I think he's probably going to be a guy you throw in when you get an injury, and you can probably move him through waivers and stuff. But I don't think he's going to get picked up. And if he does, I mean, you're not losing boatload of much, but I mean, I don't like saying that because he's obviously a good hockey player. But I mean, it's not like you're losing a fucking Kirill Kaprizov through waivers or anything. So look at it that way.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, didn't his brother or he play in one of the Summer Olympic teams for Canada?
What's his brother's name? Tyler?
Yep.
Tyler Pitlik? I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure Tyler might be the better one out of the two, but they're still pretty close in skill.
I
They're
think
both,
Tyler's the better one. Yeah.
yeah, they're both bottom
Points
six
wise.
forwards.
Yeah, and Tyler Pitlik's bounced around a bit. I think he's been in Arizona and Philadelphia and Dallas. So I mean,
Yeah,
he's been around a bit too.
he's been around the block a couple times for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's changed his postal code a couple times, man.
Yeah, for sure. Curtis Mccelhaney retires.
That sucks, man. I love the guy.
Yeah, he was a beauty. Yeah, I don't think anybody had a problem with him. He just bounced around and was backup goalie for whoever needed him. Did a pretty good job too.
He was around, man. Calgary, Columbus, Toronto, Tampa, and I think there was another team there too. Anyways, he was on 5 or 6 teams, and I think the biggest save of his career was in 2017 when it's after I think it was Matthews' first year. They had Mccann backing up.
Yeah.
And this was a game against Pittsburgh Penguins to clinch the playoffs for the first time for the Leafs since they lost to Boston back in 2013/14, I think it was. So the rebuild happened. Matthews came in. They made the playoffs that first year. And the game they clinched to get into the playoffs, Mccann was in net. We had a cross-crease pass over to Crosby. Crosby took the one-timer. Mccann pulls out the pad. Just best save of his career, man. You look it up on YouTube, you'll see it because it was an amazing save. And that's what I remember about Mccann. And when the Leafs got rid of him, went with Garrett Sparks, I was kind of a little bit butthurt. And
yeah, a lot of Leafs fans where they were like, "This guy's a solid backup goalie. Why are we getting rid of him?"
Solid, man.
Yeah,
they betted on Garrett Sparks. Didn't turn out to work out for them, but I mean, it is what it is. You got to make decisions.
Yeah, that's right. Well, good thing he got his 2 cups, eh? He can retire in peace now.
Yeah, I mean, I love the guy. I think he's a great goalie.
I mean, he was probably one of the only.
He didn't play a single game in any of those playoffs.
Won those 2 cups, man.
He was in the room, man. Just like the boys come in after winning a game. It's like, we're gonna get another cup. He just fucking popping the beers open for the boys. Big locker room guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
He was just, I don't know. Just
on the bench, opening the gate, man.
Drunk every night, man. I'd say he was on the bench just like 2-6 vodka, and just like for fun. He's like, I'm not playing tonight.
He got a Bud Light dumping into the Gatorade bottle, and he's opening the gate, closing the gate.
How many hot dogs do you think he won in those 2 playoff runs?
Hot dogs?
Yes, man. He must have ate some hot dogs.
I don't
know.
On
the bench the whole time.
He must have ate a lot of man. If it was me and I was Curtis Mccann, the dude didn't play a single game in 2 playoff series. I'd come out with like a little tray, those little wooden trays people get when they watch watch TV and eat their dinner. You get those little wooden trays. Yeah, I'd be coming out to the bench with a wooden tray on my side like this, and I'd get out my little my dinner, and I'd just be watching the game, man. And somebody comes, Stamkos running to the bench, just flick the gate and close it. And he basically had front row seats to the playoffs, the full playoffs for 2 straight years, and never had to work one bit. But not saying he doesn't work. Not saying he doesn't work because he's a great backup goalie, but Vasilevsky was just that good. So it's a great guy. I could talk about him for years, I guess.
Yeah, we might have another segment next week just on Curtis Mccan's career, man.
Yeah, love the guy.
Yeah, Damon Severson may not start the season for the Devils. The Devils don't really have great defensive depth. I mean, once after you get past their first line defense, it kind of drops off. So this might hurt them at the beginning of the season, but I think it's only a week to week or even day to day injury.
He's a good defenseman, man. I think he's underrated within the league a little bit. He's solid. So that's going to suck for them, but they're not in the. I don't think they're in extreme playoff hunt, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But hope he recovers.
Yeah. This is a weird one. David Pastrnak is selling pasta in Boston to benefit cancer care charity. Would you buy his pasta, and how many boxes?
Well, I would definitely buy his pasta. I had no idea he was selling pasta. Like, does he have his own thing on the go?
Oh man, we're gonna have to throw it on the story or something on the Instagram. Yes,
yeah.
Man,
I had no idea.
Oh man, I guess it's kind of like craft dinner because it's only selling at like Walmart and stuff like that in grocery stores, so it's probably not too high end. But yeah.
I would definitely buy it, man. If I ran across it and supporting cancer or whatever he's funding it to, I'd buy a couple boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I wish it was in Canada or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it's only in the Massachusetts area.
Yeah,
So,
probably. It's unfortunate. Maybe we'll have to get a couple boxes and we'll auction them off or something.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get them on eBay or something. I want to kind of try it.
Yeah.
News out of Montreal: Price and Edmondson won't start the season with the Canadiens. Edmondson is out with a suspected injury, I believe, and Price is in the NHLPA player assistant program. What's your thoughts on these two guys?
Edmondson to start. He's obviously a big piece on that blue line. I mean, I don't think you talked about him enough when they were in the playoffs and stuff. And he's a big body, man. He's hard to get around. Got a long stick. So
he is, yeah. And I always thought he was just a defensive defenseman, but I was talking to some Montreal fans, and they said he plays on the second PP unit with the Canadiens as well, and apparently he's pretty good on the power play.
I never knew that either. So, I mean, Montreal seems like they're not gaining much at all, really. Unfortunately for them, seems like every week
their defense really took a hit. Their defense took a bad hit this offseason.
Yeah, Romanov's got to step up, basically. I mean, if there's a time for him to present himself as a top pairing defenseman at any point, I mean, this is your time to go with it and run. So if I was him, I'd be pumped about that opportunity. And
he's got to be excited for this season.
Yeah, to talk about Price, I mean, player assistance program, I guess he's dealing with something that we don't know about. So
and we're not going to speculate. I've seen a lot of people online saying it's this like people don't know anything.
There's no point to talk about it. Like
what I've read just from the NHL insiders is that his teammates were saying that getting that close to the cup and just losing hurt him a lot mentally over the offseason. And you got those 3 months just to sit and think about it. And, I mean, it's on your mind every day. Like, what if I did this different? What if I did that? So unfortunately, a lot of his teammates were saying that really badly hurt him. And I mean, a lot of them are still young, right? Montreal is still a relatively younger team. But Price isn't getting any younger, unfortunately. So
no, and I'd like to see him win a cup, man. He's a really good goalie and one of the best to ever be in the crease, and whatever he's in there for, which we're not going to talk about. He's going to get out of it, and I think he'll be fine. So let's hope it goes that way.
Yeah, it's great the NHLPA has a program like this when players are struggling, to go to and get the help they need. Because if he was on his own, if any player was on their own in times like this, it just wouldn't be a good situation for anyone.
Yeah, so. And you'll get the dipshit in Instagram comments saying he makes $10 million a year.
Oh, I hate those people.
They can't drive me. He can't have emotions or struggles because he makes $10 million a year.
Yeah, the same people that shit on Price for leaving at the start of the season, the same people that were probably shitting on Tuukka Rask for going back to Finland last year.
Yeah, fucking bums. But
losers, man. Losers. Some more bad news. Yanni Gourde will miss the start of the season with the Kraken, recovering from a shoulder injury. But good news is Jared McCann gets first-line center, and he hopes to make a bigger impact than he has over his last 2 seasons with Pittsburgh.
He's got talent, man. First-round draft pick in Vancouver. Or Florida. What was it? Anyways, he's definitely had a lot of talent for a long time, but I don't see him as a first-line center, man, honestly.
No, I mean, he's a fringe second liner and a perfect third line center.
Perfect third liner on a contender.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you got Mccann on your third line, you're
looking good.
Contender for sure.
Yeah, so, but
too bad to hear about Yanni. Yanni Gourde from Tampa. Yeah, he's got to be pissed off to miss out on a potential 3-peat, but hopefully he brings that passion in with him when he gets back from surgery, and the Kraken will go on a little bit of a run here.
I think the Kraken are going to surprise people, man. I think it's a whole Vegas situation over. People doubted Vegas so much, man. You can't doubt a team you haven't seen play a regulation game. So I don't doubt them at all. I got them in my predictions. If you watched episode, 1 of Hockey Tank Podcast, you would know that I have them making the playoffs. But if you want to know where I put everybody else in the Pacific Division. You would have to go watch it, but I think they're going to be all right. I just got that feeling, man. Just don't. Underdogs can do some amazing things in sports. So I think he'll have a good year, man. Maybe he puts up 50 points. You don't know. Or maybe he plays like, maybe he puts up 50
Jesus
points.
Christ. I'm not sure. Maybe on that first line with
I'm telling you, man. First line Tom, man. He's got to play 20 minutes a night. He's got to play if he's on the first line. Maybe Morgan.
I don't know. I'm one of the Seattle doubters. I'm one of the people you just shit on.
Yeah, well, people doubted William Karlsson. The dude scored 40 goals and won an award. I don't remember what it was. So, get with the program, man. You can't doubt expansion teams. Watch me. We'll take a snippet of this, and then like 2 weeks in a row, we'll put out like Seattle's record, like 1-12 or something. I look like a fucking jackass. Anyways.
Yep. Maybe one of the best signings over this offseason. Barkov signs an 8-year contract extension with the Panthers, valued at $10 million a year, annual average value. Good signing or great signing?
Amazing signing.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, that's a lot of money, but for what you get from Barkov and locking him up for 8 years, you can't go
8 years
is
a big thing, man. Yeah. And I mean, he's only going to get better. It's in his prime. You covering him for his whole prime, and Cap's going to go up when that contract's over in 9 years, because it's for the next season. I mean, Cap could be up like to 90 something million, and I don't know. It's just it leaves him a lot of room.
Your captain $10 million, and he'll be point per game for most seasons from here on out.
Yeah, and he's going to play good. When he gets older, he's going to have good defensive ability. So if the scoring drops off, you still know he's going to play well in his own zone. And they got to worry about Bobrovsky, not Bobrovsky's contract, not this one. So
yeah,
not everything they do in Florida is amazing. So
yeah, Barkov might have the new number one $10 million contract on that team. Barkov had the best $10 million contract last year, so Barkov takes over.
Yeah.
The second best signing of this offseason, James Neal signs a 1-year contract with the Blues at league minimum. Probably the best signing I've ever seen in my life after he scores a hat trick. Get him on the team. This guy blows up every single early season. So he'll probably put up like 50 goals in the first like 3 weeks and then drop off.
I mean,
but you got a good guy there.
In the first 27 days of the season, James Neal's a modern day Mike Bossy. I mean, this guy just fucking snipes. I mean, all he does is bear down, man. This guy's just the king of bear down for the first month of the season. He'll take his first paycheck and he'll be kissing it, and then he'll just sit back the rest of the year and collect his fucking money. And if they put him through waivers, he doesn't give a fuck. He's still getting his money, a one-way deal. He doesn't care. This guy's a legend.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody will dispute you on that. This guy is a beauty. And I think this guy scores 20 goals this year, and I think 18 of them come in
first week.
Probably the first 2 months, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking like, holy shit, league minimum James Neal, and then the rest of the season, man, he's just like a donkey out there.
Yeah, apparently this guy doesn't wash his hair very much. You ever heard that?
No, who told you that?
I seen it on YouTube back in the day when he was in Pittsburgh.
Oh shit!
He likes
sick in Pittsburgh.
Apparently, he's got like a really natural, he's got a really nice hairstyle. So, I mean, apparently there's a little secret. He doesn't wash it as much as other people, and the natural hair does its thing. And he's got
natural oils.
Yeah,
he's got the natural hair.
This guy's got scoring secrets. This guy's got hair secrets. I mean, he's got whatever you want. So
secretive man.
Yeah.
Crosby skates with Pens for the first time since undergoing wrist surgery. That's a good thing to see. He's expected only to miss about 2 weeks of the season. So
yeah.
Good let's hope back on skates.
Let's hope Jeff Carter doesn't sign up to the retirement home before that, because I mean they're gonna need him. Malkin's out too, so unless you want Teddy Bluger on the ice for 20 minutes a night, Crosby better hurry to fuck up.
It's gonna be a great first line matchup between Seattle and Pittsburgh. Teddy Bluger and Jared McCann take the battle face off.
The battle of the third line centers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good though. I don't know. Shit, I just forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, Crosby back on skates is good stuff. Oh, I was going to say Jeff Carter might steal Crosby's job.
I mean,
Jeff
man,
Carter might put up some unreal numbers to start the season, and Crosby might have to stay on second line.
Tom Crosby gets back, he's going to pull into the arena, and he's going to get a car. He's going to go and look at his jersey. He's like, what the fuck? And he's going to look over. Jeff Carter's got the C on, and he's walking out to the ice. I highly doubt that, but
no,
he might play well.
I hope he does. I like Jeff Carter. I always did.
Yeah.
All right. So Dawson Mercer got named among the top rookies to watch this year by Mike Morrell. So that's pretty good, eh? A little Newfie boy.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's got it, man. I say it every week, and people probably think I'm biased, but I mean, he's got NHL skill, and like, he's that type of player that can play anywhere. So I mean, he's useful. If he's not scoring, he's useful. And on your fourth line, he's going to be a useful guy playing 8 or 9 minutes a night. I mean, so I can see him. Maybe not this year, but give him 4 or 5 years in the league, man. He could be a 20-goal scorer, 30 assists. He could be a 50, 60-point guy. You know, the sky's the limit. You know, he could even get 80 points. You don't know with guys like this. Guys who play this way, you don't know, man. And you can't just say, oh, he'll never get 80 points. You just don't know because he plays that certain type of game where he could just break out. So I'm not going to say he ever gets that.
I would love to see that. Imagine a Newfoundlander goes point per game in the show. That would be huge.
That's just a possibility. He's just got everything that can get him there, but if he gets there, it's a different story, right?
Yeah. And the good thing about being on New Jersey team is they locked up their 1 and 2 spots at center. So if he was center, he wouldn't get as many reps. He would be on third line for life. But where they're so in need of
he plays
wingers,
on the wing.
Yeah, exactly. Where he's a winger, he could easily move up and down in that top or bottom or middle.
He could make a career playing with Jack Hughes. Let's say they put him on a line with Jack Hughes, and
imagine.
And he's just like, you know, kind of like puck retrieval, like making Jack Hughes' job a little bit easier. Jack can do the flashy stuff, you know, make the great passes. He gets a pile of secondary assists, and you know, he pots in a couple tap-ins. I mean, he could carve out a really long NHL career playing with, you know, guys like that.
And I think that's what New Jersey's starting to realize too, because Dawson Mercer could play with Jack Hughes and, you know, be defensively responsible for his offensive. And then they got Heischer playing with, in the future, Alexander Holtz.
Yeah.
So Heischer could make up for the defense that Holtz lacks. So that could be a perfect little, you know, top 4 they got there. And then just throw, you know, a neutral player on the left wing on each of those lines. So if that's a possibility and Mercer plays top 6 his whole career, that would be,
he's going to get a lot of points. Yeah.
That would be insane.
It takes a certain type of player to be able to play with guys like that for a long time. And I think he's that exact type of player, man. He's like the fucking Chris Kunitz to Crosby.
Yeah. You got to be strong-willed too, because like if they're doing all that flashy stuff, you're like, I want to do that shit. That looks awesome. And then
you got to know your role. You got to know your role, man. And guys who do that are guys who, like, there's certain type of player, man, that can play with star players. You can't just throw anybody into that role and expect them to succeed. You got to be a, you know, certain type.
Yeah. Imagine, throwing Ovi out there without Backstrom his whole career. So Backstrom can kind of make up for that defense, man. Speaking of Ovi, he actually got injured in the final game of the Caps preseason. He went to check Travis Konechny and fell on his right leg. So he was seen limping. I
think it's week to week.
He coasted off. I think he's even day to day. A lot of people in the dressing room were laughing about it and saying, fuck, man, that Russian blood, he will be back his first game. He won't miss a step, stuff like that. But
he wants to score 50.
Yeah. This is Sunday right now, and he wasn't at practice today. He was just chilling on the bench and seen limping after. So it could be more serious.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, hey boy. Like, the league's not the same without Ovi in it. So I hope he gets back quick. Ilya Mikheyev is out for the Leafs with a hand injury. So Leafs season is pretty much over now that Mikheyev's not playing.
Man, just pack up the bags, go to fuck home. Book your flights back to Sweden if you're from Sweden.
Houston might as well just buy the Leafs now because the Leafs aren't doing shit this year without Mikheyev.
No, man. In all seriousness, sucks for him, man, because he had a top 6 role. He was going to play with Tavares and Nylander, and he's one of the fastest guys in the league. He
is
beat
super
Connor
quick.
McDavid in a foot race last year. It was him. McDavid ran one blue line, and the puck was going back. It was a power play for Edmonton. McDavid was going back to retrieve it, and McDavid's like, all right, man, I'm just going to go. Nobody's going to follow me because they're not going to catch me anyways. And then Ilya Mikheyev just goes, steals it from McDavid. I mean, the dude's he's got speed, but he can't finish, man. I've seen Adam players finish better than this guy. I mean, he can't put the puck in the net. This guy gets like 20-something, 30 breakaways a year, man. I'm not joking. That's not a fucking made-up number. Look it up. This guy, speed, he's tenacious. He's got a good stick. Like, he's hard, like, for digging for pucks. But he no finish, man. This guy can't finish. It sucks. I wouldn't want to see him in the bedroom, put it that way.
You know, he kind of reminds me of then. There was stories being told on Chicklets all the time that Mikael Grabner was the same way. Mikael Grabner, he was so fast, so he got like 2 breakaways a game, but he couldn't finish on any of them. They were saying, like, people that play with Grabner would say, like, man, oh man, if only he could put the puck in the net on a breakaway, he'd have 40-goal seasons. But you know, he just could never finish on breakaways. So that might be who it is.
Sucks for him, man. He had a good opportunity to play with Tavares and Nylander, but I think Michael Bunting's going to be the guy to step up to that now. And I think Bunting's got all the fucking talent too, man. I think he's a little bit of, just because he just came into the league, calling at a later age. He's not a well-known player, but I think he's got all the tools to be a successful player. Now, I'm not talking about 30 goals. I'm talking about 15, 20 goals. So,
yeah. If Bunting's playing with Tavares and Nylander, who's going to be playing with Matthews and Marner?
Nick Ritchie is a guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and it's been doing. And man, Nick Ritchie, I kind of laughed when they saw him. I was like, Nick Ritchie, man, he's no fucking. How's he going to play with that? Because they talked about him playing in the top 6, and I was like, he's not going to be playing in the top 6, man. He's more of like a third line winger kind of.
Dude, he was bottom 6 everywhere else. He was bottom 6 in freaking Boston.
He's had a good look, man. I mean, he's got 3 or 4. I think he has 4 goals this preseason in like 2 or 3 games. So
man, yeah, make his money in front of the net. That's what I'd be doing if I was in the show.
He gets in front of the net. He tips pucks, and he's got a stick on the ice. And you know, Mitch Marner finds a way to get it to him. So I think he's actually going to be a really good look on that line. And I didn't see it coming, man. I would have never guessed it, but I think when it's all said and done, man, he could have a 20-goal year playing on that top line because, I mean, Matthews and Marner generate so much offense that, you know, he's going to get points regardless if he's playing that line.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to think of what Morgan Riley said about him in an interview. It was hilarious. I watched it
What's the biggest mammal? What's the biggest mammal ever exists?
The biggest mammal on Earth. And Morgan Riley just laughs. He's like, Nick Ritchie.
He's a big dude, man. He's
he's probably the most out of shape guy. He's the most out of shape guy in the league. Him and Phil
Kessler would have a little
bit of No, man. Nick Ritchie, like, oh man, I heard a story too. Like, everybody was getting ripped for like Boston's like 2018 season, right? Everybody was in the gym flat out, and then this guy walks into training camp like 20 pounds overweight, and everybody's just like, Nick, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, but like, did you see the Spittin' Chicklets episode where Sean Avery was chirping him and calling him a fat fuck?
Yeah, I did. That's probably what I'm thinking about now.
And he's no like
he doesn't get paid for being in shape, is what you're trying to say.
He gets his money other ways, and he's not tall, but he's like wide, man.
Yeah, like I don't think a forklift would be able to move him from in front of the net either. When he parks his ass in front of the net, it's staying there. So he'd be great, probably great on the PP.
Yeah, Nick Ritchie eats forklifts for breakfast, man.
I'd say that's how he gets his fucking pregame meal delivered to him.
Yeah,
on a pallet. Man, we're gonna be shot, man. Everybody in the NHL can fucking hate us.
No, it's just a joke, man. So
yeah, I know.
You got to be able to take a joke, right? They're still gonna make an NHL podcast where they're making fun of NHL podcasters, and we're gonna be made fun of.
Yeah, we're gonna get shit on.
Yeah.
Another great extension here because Zibanejad agrees to an 8-year extension with New York Rangers, valued at $8.5 million annual average value. Good signing or a bad signing?
Good money, bad term, I think.
Yeah, I mean he's 28 now, so by the time that rolls around, he's going to be get paid in his last year 8.5 mil at 36. So
Yeah, I think
it's great for right now, though. He's a
yeah,
star in this league.
it's
I
gonna
mean, but he
be
only plays good hockey in March.
yeah,
He fucks off for the entire season. Then he's like, "Oh, the
yeah.
season's almost over. We're out of the playoffs. I'll start playing good." And then he puts up like 4 goals a game.
He's definitely plays like a streakier player.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a good deal if it was at. I think it's a decent deal, but man, it'd look a lot better if it was 5 years at 8.5, right?
Yeah, I think so too. But I think that's part of the thing. I don't think they were going to sign. I think he just sat
If
down and was like, "Guys, I want to be in New York for the rest of my career. I like it here. I don't want to be looking for work when I'm 34 and get paid like league min. Like, lock me up now and you'll get me in my prime."
yeah, if they were signing in 5 years, it would have been close to 10 mil, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So, they're getting, I don't know, kind of
There's
shafted
plus.
on the last like 3 years, but
I mean, you can buy that out. I mean, he might still be useful. So I mean, you just can't look at it like that. I guess it is a good contract for now, definitely.
yeah, for sure. Before we get into your news topics, I just want to go over the 2022 Olympics so far at the country guarantees. I'll ask you about each country after. So, coming out of the Canada, as no surprise, is Crosby, McDavid, and Pietrangelo. What do you think of these guarantees so far?
Probably the leadership group for Canada, honestly.
Oh yeah, I'd say.
Probably.
I'd even
Captain
be
Jesus.
surprised if Bergeron or McKinnon doesn't get an A over McDavid,
Yeah, but
just where they have more experience at
yeah,
international play.
just one of those things, man. When it was always if you're the best player in the world, a letter goes to you automatically because you're just so above everybody else. So I think I wouldn't be surprised, man, if they said it was Petrangelo, McDavid, and Crosby. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean you're right with the if you're the best player, you deserve a letter because I think everywhere Gretzky went, he was the captain. Like
You're just so above everybody else, man. You just had that
yeah,
instinct where, and like your next level, man. You just got to have it in a sense.
yeah. If there was a league above the NHL, I'm pretty sure McDavid would be the only one to crack that too.
Yeah,
Imagine there was a
David.
league in a world where McDavid was like a fourth line bum. Like holy
Yeah,
fuck.
it'd just be like McDavid versus Joe Lundgren 1v1 in the best league in the world.
I gotta save that for later.
Yeah.
All right. Czech Republic announces that Andre Palat, David Pastrnak, and Voracek are named to the team.
Wait, what country was that?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, yeah. Hopefully Yager makes a team. I mean, that would be insane, man. I'd do it if I was choosing the team. If I was the general manager, I'd be like, put Yager on the fourth line, give him an A.
You'd have to ask him at least. You'd have to at least shoot him an email or something or a text being like, "You want to play some hockey?"
Yeah,
that would be unreal to see him there.
Yeah,
I'd actually
that'd
love
be
that.
sick. I'd love that, man. I'd watch all Czech games if Yager was there.
Yeah,
I
me
would.
too.
So I don't know. It's very possible. Dude still plays pro hockey. So it's not like he hung him up.
And it's not like he's trying to make the Canadian roster either, or one of the Scandinavian countries. Like
Czechs are going to be one of those teams where they got guys who aren't in the NHL on the roster, right? So
yeah, that's why I'm excited to watch David Krejci too, where he's not playing in the NHL this year. Catch him in the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, move on to Denmark. So they got Borkstrand, Nikolai Ehlers, and Alex True from the Seattle Kraken playing this year.
I was surprised they didn't name Freddie Anderson as the goalie because I mean, who else is going to be the goalie for Denmark?
Yeah, I mean, I think Freddie Anderson's just
he's a lock, but I figured they would
pretty much a lock. I don't know another Danish goalie except for
exactly. So I mean, I figured
anyone.
I mean, they named Alexander True. I mean, yes, he's an NHL level player, I guess, to some extent. But I figured they would name Anderson above him because he's, well known.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that Anderson doesn't want to play if they didn't name him?
Yeah, that's definitely
a possibility. There. I think there's going to be a lot of players like that enjoys that break from the NHL and doesn't want to go over and play. So I think they will get declined.
For me, I wouldn't. If I was that caliber of a player, that would be so hard to turn down. Even though if you're in a smaller hockey country, and you
Yeah.
know that there's a good chance you're going to lose, man, just the opportunity to be there and take it all in and say you're an Olympic athlete, I would find that so hard to turn down.
Yeah, same. Anyway, moving on to Finland. So as no surprise, these are probably the three best Finnish players I can think of too. So Sebastian Aho, Barkov, and Mikko Rantanen are named.
Yeah.
I don't think there's very many surprises there. These guys are
No.
beasts on their NHL teams and probably be beasts at the Olympics too.
Let's hope Koivu comes back and plays, gets a C for Finland again.
Yeah, I'd say.
Even though I think
who do you think gets first line center, Aho or Barkov?
I think it's Barkov. I think he gets a C too.
I think
he
might
Aho
slip
will
back
play
on number
second line.
2.
Yeah?
I think Aho will get the nod just because he's more offensively minded.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's not a shot at Barkov either, because we all know from watching him in Florida, like, this guy's a tank.
I don't think it matters. I think you're gonna be rolling him anyways.
True. Yeah,
I think it'll be like
first 2 or 3 lines.
It'll be like, okay, McDavid's line's on the ice, Barkov go, and then it's like Canada's fourth line that say Stamkos center in it or something. Just complete guess. We'll say, oh, Aho go out now because you got a better chance to have puck position.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Germany, probably my favorite team to announce right now. Leon Draisaitl, Grubauer, and Moritz Seider gets the nod. I'm hyped that Seider got announced already, because that means he's probably going to be playing a major role on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know any other German defensemen. So there's that guy who signed in San Jose a long time ago. Jeez, I can't get him off the top of my head.
I know one just retired in New York Islanders, the one that got that eye injury at the end of the season last year. What was his name? We're terrible podcast hosts. Jesus Christ, come on.
We're not terrible hosts. We just don't have.
He played in Boston before. He played in Boston. Seidenberg.
Oh yes, man.
And he wasn't in New York Islanders. I'm high on drugs. Did you just hear what I just said?
Yes, he was, man.
Islanders.
Yes, he was. Yeah, but that was like 3 years ago, man. You retired.
Did he? Holy man, the years go by. I'll tell you.
Years, man. Just time flies.
The next and Draisaitl's no surprise. He'll get the captaincy there, eh?
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a competition for the C.
No, I wouldn't say.
No.
Probably one of the biggest underdogs, and I think these guys can actually. They might win the tournament this year. So Team Latvia, Rudolf Belsers, Zemgus Girgensson, and Christians Rubens are named to the 3 guarantees there. Any surprises? Anybody you think left out from Team Latvia?
I'm surprised they had anybody to put in the Team Latvia.
Yeah, that's probably the last team that made it over, like Japan or something.
I'll tell you one thing though. I've watched a lot of Christian Rubens in person because he played with the Growlers.
Go on.
For a while.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure. Man, that just sparked a memory. If I'm not mistaken, he scored the first ever goal for the
possibly
Newfoundland Growlers, because me and Caleb were there. And we're like, who the hell is this guy? And then we see him from Latvia, and it was like, imagine coming from Latvia and going all the way to Newfoundland and being like, where the hell am I right now?
Yeah, I've seen probably 10 or 12 games of Rubens in person. But he's not an NHL level player, so that goes to show you where Latvia stands in the tournament.
He's on the Toronto roster right now.
He's in the AHL now, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, more than likely. I wouldn't say he'll get a shot at the NHL, but
I think Liljegren's the guy who gets the 7th D spot in Toronto.
Yeah. Dude, I thought Rubens was forward.
No, man. He's tall, too. He's like a big body. He's a defenseman.
Nice. Takes up a lot of room. Team Slovakia. They announced Eric Cernak, Yaroslav Halak, and Sakara from the NHL. I mean, I think they could have announced a better Slovakia team than that already. I feel like there's a superstar in the NHL that was from Slovakia. Yeah, I feel like they always got good Olympic teams or international teams.
I don't know much about Slovakians. I just know that they're going to lose in the Olympics.
Who do you think wins, Latvia or Slovakia?
Go with my man Rubens. He's probably got a hat trick in him.
That's right. Yeah, he probably will. He'll light it up.
Yeah. I hope Latvia. Not a
Yeah.
big Slovakian guy. Not that
No,
I
me
got
neither.
anything against them, but I
Not
think
my
I'd
cup
rather
of
go
tea.
Latvia.
I
Yeah.
like the underdogs, man. I want Latvia to win the whole thing. Actually, I want them to get up. They're up against Canada and lose by a goal in overtime. And I want Crosby to score another golden goal.
Yeah, the golden goal versus Latvia.
Oh man, what a show! What a spectacle!
Yeah. Keep dreaming.
Team Sweden announced their 3 lockups: Victor Hedman, Mika Zibanejad, and Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be a good team this year.
You could have chose a lot of people from Sweden. I figured they would have Eric Carlson as one of the guys who was, even though he's not what he was, he's not what he was, but he's just such a big name in Sweden hockey. I feel like.
Yeah, true.
But,
I don't think you name over these two. Do you think? I think Dahlin will get on the team, even though he had a bad year last year. I think he makes that team.
Yeah, I think so too.
They got a lot of options though. I think every single team in the NHL right now has a super Swede, at least one. Sweden, for how big they are, they got like only like 2 million people, don't they? They're a small country, but they got a lot of NHLers.
Yeah, man. Sweden always has. Oops, sorry.
Oh my God!
I didn't mean to hit my thing. Then Sweden, they don't. They produce a lot of hockey players, and it seems like they don't produce many bad hockey players. Hockey players who make it, they don't seem like they're bottom 6. It's usually a top 6 forward. So
yeah,
I feel like when you make it from Sweden, you're really good.
Yeah, true. Like when you watch the junior games or something, like they've always got a sick team, and you're like, and every player that touches the puck, the announcer's usually like, "Oh, here comes this guy. He's protected like freaking 6 overall in this year's draft." You're like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Then you look into him, and he's actually sick. So
yeah.
Team Switzerland announces Hischier, Meyer, and Roman Yossi.
Yeah.
I think Yossi gets the captain.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, those are 2 very good other players too. And Meyer or Meyer. What do you say?
Timo Meyer is what I've always said.
Yeah, same. And Nico Hischier.
So I don't even know. Like again, like I'm not good familiar with players' countries. So I mean, I wouldn't even know who to guess. You know, who else would they name besides those 3 players?
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, Team Switzerland. Not sure. They had a couple people go in this year's draft though.
Yeah.
Hey, Marco Rossi might get in there. Isn't?
Oh,
he's from
yeah.
Austria.
No, he's Austria. Yeah.
Austria. Jesus.
Did you see in the World Juniors a few years ago, Switzerland's coach? I mean, the guy was funny as fuck.
Oh man, he said like, yeah, they were asking him like, do you think you got a chance in this game or something like that, or do you think
Hell
you
no.
can come back? And he's like, no, we're playing in Canada. What? We got half our team missing, and they've got a full roster of superstars. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That guy's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
We should get him on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll shoot him a DM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'd be a hilarious interview, I'd say.
He'd be a good interview.
Yeah, that guy's a beauty. Russia, which they can't go by Russia. It's just they have to go by
ROC.
Yeah, exactly. They have to go by like Russia Olympic
competitors.
Yeah, exactly. Because Russia still got that ban from the substance abuse or the performance enhancing drugs.
Fucking leave it to the Russians, man.
Yeah, the juiced Russians. So Kucherov, Ovechkin, and now the 3rd goalie named to an Olympic roster is Vasilevsky. I don't think you can go wrong with any of those players.
No, man. I feel like Ovechkin's going to be the captain. So another cool player we could see make a Russian team could be Pavel Datsyuk, man. He's still playing. He's still kicking.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, throw him on the 3rd or 4th line and just have him out there for his defensive prowess. Yeah.
Too. He's still playing the KHL, and you got guys like wife beater Slava Voinov. He could be on there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. He was supposed to be a really good player for the Kings.
He was a stud till he became a bit of a cunt.
Yeah, I mean, once a cunt, always a cunt. So
yeah, I mean they're gonna have
as
some
long as
good
he
talent.
doesn't do any PEDs, I'm pretty sure he can make the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The last team I have on my list, USA, announces Kane, Matthews, and an enemy of the podcast, Seth Jones.
Yes, our mortal enemy.
Yeah. No, man, a lot of people this year say Jones is going to pop off and he's like one of the best defensemen in the league and all that. But
He got picked because Stan Bowman's GM. Don't
yeah, him
trick
and
yourself.
Kane.
Yeah.
I
So-
can't wait to watch Kane and Matthews though. Who plays on the left wing of that first line? Who's a good left winger from States?
I feel like they're gonna go with a heavier player, someone who's a bit tougher. I don't know who that would
Nick
be.
Ritchie.
Blake Wheeler, maybe. He's American.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of the Kachucks.
Yeah, it could be Kachucks or something like that.
I think it's can Brady Kachuk play in the Olympic Games if he hasn't signed to an NHL contract? Yes, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
I don't know if you have to be signed to a team in order to play. So
right next to him, man. Fuck couch, man. I'm in a different setup now. So for this episode only.
Yeah, bad support.
Thanksgiving.
The cat's still buzzing around though. The cat loves you. It's like it's not around now, but it was buzzing around earlier.
Oh yeah.
That's it for my news, man.
Yeah, well, let me see what I got drawn up here. Jack Johnson signed a 1-year, $750K deal in Colorado. Play with his brother.
I like that.
So,
are they brothers?
I always thought they were.
I don't think they're related, man.
No,
I think one's American and I think one's Canadian. Is Jack Johnson American or I know Eric is Canadian. Is Jack American or is he Canadian?
Why do they look the same, play the same, and sound the same? I don't know. I thought it was too much of a coincidence, but you could be right.
It sounds like a duck. It's probably a duck. You're right.
I don't know though, so don't take my word on that. I just said it, so
yeah. Well,
I'll be fucking hating the podcast viewers because I fucked up.
Nonetheless, he's definitely going there to win a cup. I'd say that's his main intention now.
Yep. I don't think he's going to be playing too much, but
6. He's going to be playing 6D man, 7D man depth.
Yeah,
good for injuries.
Press backs warm.
Yeah. He's going to be crunching some hot dogs too, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Calgary and Anaheim are the two most interested teams in Jack Eichel from what I've seen around. I feel like Minnesota, Vegas, and New York all kind of backed out of it. They were in talks as well for Jack Eichel, but apparently Calgary and Anaheim are the two teams in front. I don't think LA wants to pursue that either because they've recently signed Danault, and they have so many centers. They have Kopitar, Danault, Byfield, Turcotte. I mean, Iafallo plays center too, so they got a lot there. So I don't think. So I honestly, look at that, and I think Calgary.
I think the complete opposite. I think Calgary might be the better fit, just where they have a lot of good centers coming up in Anaheim. But I think Jack Eichel honestly hates Canada. I don't think he wants to play for any Canadian team.
I think he'd rather play in fucking. He'd probably rather play in like fucking. I can't even think of a shitty place. What's a shitty place?
Buddy, he wants to go play in the fucking KHL over Canadian.
Ohio. He'd probably rather play in Ohio than Buffalo because we like talk shit about Ohio on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know.
He wants to get out, man. He would play anywhere at this point. He would play anywhere. So I'd like to see him in Calgary. I think that'd be really cool.
I would too. I'd like to see him in Calgary too, but I don't know. For some reason, he hasn't come out and said anything, but I think he'd rather play in Anaheim if it was between the two.
I think he would too, but I don't think he would complain as long as he gets a call that he's traded, he's going to be pumped. So,
yeah, that's a weird one. I was listening to Morgan Freeman. Or Jesus Christ, did you just hear me then? The Morgan Freeman hockey podcast. Yeah, fucking proper thing. Why can't I think of this guy's name?
Elliot Freeman. Isn't he like the guy that's actually
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was listening to Elliot Freeman's podcast, 31 Thoughts, and they were saying that even though a lot of people aren't like the fans and a lot of like people are saying like, dude, Buffalo sucks for doing this. Like a lot of other teams would probably have the same idea. Like, no, we're doing what we want. Like we don't really trust your judgment as a player, and like if it comes back to bite us, it's going to hurt the team more than it's going to hurt your career and stuff like that. So a lot of other teams are thinking the same thing about Jack Eichel that Buffalo's doing right now.
Yeah.
So that might be an impediment if he wants to go anywhere else as well.
It's just going to be nice to not talk about him every week once he gets traded.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, I can't imagine listening to a Morgan Freeman podcast. Like,
I honestly, I'd love that.
So
Dude, he'd fucking tuck you into bed. He'd give you a kiss on the forehead,
Yeah,
man, if you're
I
listening to
know.
that before bed.
Yeah, but I feel like I just go into a trance, man. I just zone out of this world completely for so long.
Yes, man, and you'd wake up 3 weeks later, like, where the fuck am I? It's like
in a field naked with like blood all over you. Holy fuck!
it's like what
a
happened.
podcast.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman just telling you there, like almost like schizophrenia, telling you what to do. You got thoughts in your head. It's just Morgan telling you.
Yeah.
I think that might be one of the worst tangents we've went on so far.
I think so. Anyways, move on from some man who's totally unrelated to the sport. Frederick Gauthier signs 1 year in New Jersey for $800K.
Nice.
Former first-round pick of Toronto Maple Leafs.
I thought he was going to be big in Toronto.
He's a big body, but he doesn't have any skill like that. He's kind of just.
I feel like his speed kind of.
He's slow, man. He's so slow.
But he's hard on the puck though. His whole family came from bodybuilders. Yeah, he's in incredible shape. Yeah, his whole family is bodybuilders. Like his uncle and his dad were bodybuilders, and he was a bodybuilder. And then he just had to pick: do you want to keep pursuing like fitness, or do you want to play hockey? And he was like, no, I love hockey. So, but I mean, he's probably not going to stay around the league too long unless he
no, unfortunately
picks up his foot speed, because you got to be fast in the league today to play.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was back then. So
especially with this new cross-checking rule, they're enforcing hard too, and I mean, it's just older defensemen too are going to miss out, man. I mean, you got to have foot speed. That's all. He probably goes to Europe in a couple of years when if it doesn't work out. I mean, it might work out, but if it doesn't, he'll probably be in Europe for
I could see that. Yeah.
What else we got here? We got Sens forward Colin White got injured playing versus the Leafs, and he's going to miss 4 to 6 months.
Oh, what'd he do to fuck himself up like that?
He hit David Kampf. It was just normal hitting the boards. David Kampf hit him, and he fell down. Didn't look anything out of place. Didn't look like he bent anything up, but apparently it's an upper body injury, and he's going to be out 4 to 6 months. So it's pretty serious. Oh, my God.
Must have done something to his shoulder, maybe a collarbone or something.
Yeah, something weird happened there. Something really unfortunate. So this was his chance for him to solidify himself as a top 6 forward this year, I think, because he's been on the fence. They signed him to a big contract, and he's kind of hasn't proven it yet, and he's not going to get a chance this year because Tommy comes back. It's going to be a bit late to get going at full speed. So he's pretty much done till next year, and he's going to have a good start then, unfortunately. And
that sucks. And I think when he does come back too, I think some of the younger prospects are going to have themselves established, right?
Shane Pinto, everybody else.
Yeah,
so.
He's going to be stuck on the third line then. So maybe this time next year he requests a trade if he finds that the spots have already been filled in top 6.
Yeah, Buffalo answers the phone. Ooh, top 6 forward. We haven't seen one of those before.
We haven't seen one of those since friggin' 2018.
Yeah. Since Gilbert Perreault.
Yeah.
And more news in Ottawa. Tyler Ennis signs a 1-year $900K deal. This corresponds with Colin White being injured, I think, because he was on a PTO. Colin White got injured, realized he was gone long term, so they gave Ennis a contract.
Yeah, I like Ennis anyway. I think Ennis is a good player. I like watching for the Leafs.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of been bouncing. He's been bouncing around a little bit at these contracts with under $1 million, and I mean, he's a really good fit for that price. I mean, he can play second power play, and he's just a talented player, and he's not going to score 20 goals anymore, but I mean, he's going to get a few highlight reel goals, and he's going to play some decent hockey. So
yeah, for sure. I'm surprised nobody locked him up for 2 or 3 years or something. He's still got a lot of hockey in him.
Yeah,
I know. When was his last big deal with Buffalo?
With Minnesota. He went from Minnesota to Toronto.
Oh, okay, very good.
But I don't know if a team liked him, maybe San Jose could sign him to a 3-year, $900K deal, even something like that. But
yeah,
I don't think that'll work out. Unfortunately, he's every deal he signs, he gets a year older. So
yeah, that's right.
yeah. See what else I have here. Before we move on, I have Quentin Byfield's going to miss the start of the season with an ankle injury. He was seen in crutches after an injury in preseason a few days ago. So that sucks for him. Absolute
Yeah,
bust.
it does.
He's number one on my prospect list. The dude's amazing.
Yeah, no, that sucks. I don't know. I can't wait for Byfield to actually have a prominent role in the NHL because I want to see him. I want to see him grow because he looks. He plays like a dog with a tail between his legs or something. He doesn't play with his big body, but once he does learn that, like, he can actually truck people, I think he's going to be so fun to watch.
Yeah, he's having a struggle here. I mean,
yeah,
unfortunately.
No doubt.
Apparently, he had a bad game.
Do you think he plays a lot this year in the NHL? Or do you think he starts in the AHL?
I think he's AHL and NHL. I think he's going to be bouncing around a bit, but I think next year is his year. It's like, all right, it's been 2 years plus since we drafted you. This is your year to get in and be a not prominent player, but make your name. So
yeah, he might turn off his whole ELC just in the AHL.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes, the guys who are big like that, and then, sometimes the guys take a little bit longer, and you can't count them out. So I believe he's one of the best young talents in the game, man. I think.
No, I do too. I was only joking, saying he was a bust for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to doubt him, but
that happens.
Time will tell. Time will tell, man. So.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in this society, everybody just points out your mistakes instead of your accomplishments. So
or your potential to just shit on it. Yeah, so.
Exactly. Sorry to get deep on y'all like that, but
yeah, don't cry.
I'm trying not to, man. I'm holding back.
St. Louis player Logan Brown, who was in a Zach Sanford trade earlier this week, he went to St. Louis and he's on waivers after the trade.
Oh my God! No way.
I feel like he could probably Ottawa could pick him back up if they want to be a little bit of a cunt.
You know what that reminds me of? I remember last year Detroit traded for Eric Comrie, got him, had to give up a prospect for him, and then sent him down to the minors on waiver, and Winnipeg just claimed him again. I was so pissed off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Or how I remember he played. Arizona traded for him. Arizona put him on waivers. Detroit picked him up, and then he went right back to Winnipeg all in like 2 weeks. So he was living in Winnipeg, went to Arizona, got an apartment there, probably was moving all of his stuff, sent on waivers, went to Detroit, like, holy fuck, moved all his stuff to Detroit, and then in a week was back in Winnipeg.
Yeah, that must suck for some NHL players. Like, I know Alex Galchenyuk must be just rotted.
Oh man, complete suitcase, cup of coffee wherever he goes.
Alex Galchenyuk is a complete suitcase.
Next, what were you saying about? Did you have anything else on? Brown.
Logan Brown.
Before we started chirping him.
No, bust. That's all. New Jersey Devils signed Jimmy Vesey to a 1-year $800K deal. So
nice. I like that. I like Vesey. I always thought he was going to be good. He was asking for so much when he was coming out of college, and I remember he was meet with every NHL team, and he was the hot shit. Now he's kind of
he was like begging at their doorsteps on his knees. Sign me, sign me, sign me.
Please sign me, please. I'll do anything.
Never worked out in Toronto, never worked out in Vancouver, never worked out in New York, never worked out in Buffalo. I think this is his last chance.
Probably. He's just trying to out everything. He's trying to find out where he wants to stay or where somebody will keep him. Anyway.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for that. Not much to say about that. Ole Levy traded to Florida for Lamico and Juleson.
Yeah, I just seen that before we hit record there. I always thought Ole Levy was going to be a really good player in Vancouver, but he just couldn't find his step there.
No, man, and it could be one of those situations where Sam Bennett went from Calgary, where he never worked out as being a top 5 pick, went to Florida, had an amazing end of the season last year. Ole Levy was picked 5th overall too. Who's to say Ole Levy doesn't go to Florida and find his groove like few other players have.
I'd love to
That would
see
be
it.
cool.
Yeah, it would be
So,
very cool.
I think it's an interesting trade.
Yeah, I know the hockey guy is on YouTube. If anybody watches him, he always says like he was watching that draft and he was psyched that they got Oleyevi, and he's just been waiting ever since. Just when is he gonna go? When is he gonna go?
Never ever came to fruition.
Pop off, not as that and get traded. So I'll be interested to hear his thoughts on that later on.
Yeah, it's cool. And the last bit of news I have here is the Blackhawks signing defenseman Eric Gustafson, who had a 60-point season with them in 2018/19.
Oh, that's sick.
So he's going back to where he played the best. So maybe he carves out a spot there and signs a 2 or 3 year contract if he is successful. But
I like to see it. I like Gust. He's always been good in my books.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone always likes watching him play.
Yeah. So that's it for me on the news, and I guess that's it for you on the news.
Yeah, for sure. All right, folks, stay tuned. Up next, we're going to give our predictions on scoring leaders. Welcome back, everybody. Now it's time for NHL Newfie of the Week. We brought in our friend and hockey historian Caleb Smith to help us with this segment. Caleb, how you doing today, man?
Great, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you having a good turkey supper tonight.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. All right. Without further ado, who is the NHL Noob of the Week?
This week we're going to highlight the career of a defenseman from Corner Brook by the name of Joe Lundgren. Joe awesome. Played in the inaugural Quebec Pee Wee tournament, same as Doug Grant with Corner Brook Royals. So they actually played on the same team. Yeah. That's a cool fact. I didn't know that. I had no idea until I was just doing my write-up a bit on the night.
That's awesome.
And he also played in the 61 tournament too. So he played in the first 2 Quebec Pee Wee tournaments.
You think they won either one of them?
I got my doubts, man. It's lucky that he got represented, let alone win it. But no, it's cool he made it there.
That must be the best Corner Brook team. That must be the best Corner Brook team to ever go through, like minor hockey.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
I'd say NHL players, minor hockey in Corner Brook.
Oh yeah, and Newfoundland, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe originally signed in the NHL in 1971 by the Toronto Maple Leafs. In 72-73, he made his NHL debut with the Leafs. He played 49 games and had 2 goals, 8 assists. He was claimed by Washington Capitals in the 1974 expansion draft. In 74-75, he played his final NHL season, and with the Capitals, he only played 3 games and he went pointless. So it's
I'd say, didn't the Capitals only win like 9 games that year?
Yeah, that was one of the worst expansion teams like they've ever had, man. That was a brutal team to play on. So
I'd say as a defenseman, his plus minus must have been like minus 72.
Oh man, I can't even think of it. In 3 games.
Yeah.
Anyway, his total NHL stats are 52 games played, 2 goals, and 8 assists for 10 points. He, after the NHL, he came back to play in the Newfoundland Senior Hockey League with Corner Brook Royals, and he won 2 Herder trophies. He was inducted in the Newfoundland Hockey Hall of Fame in 1995, and his number 2 is retired by the Corner Brook Royals. And I was thinking to myself, like, is that just the senior team that got it retired, or like, if a little kid in novice wants to wear number 2, no, you can't. That's Joe's number, man.
Anybody within the city limits, man. Even if you got like a Toronto Maple Leaf shirt on, you got like number 2 on the back, Ron Hainsey or some shit, or just rip it off. Yeah, like no number 2s in Corner Brook.
No, we only got one number 2 here, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it for Joe Lundgren from Corner Brook.
Interesting, man. Thanks for that.
That's awesome. I'm pretty sure he had a nice little stint with the AHL team, didn't he?
I did. That was, sorry, I missed that part. In between 72-73 and 74-75 season, he played between the CHL and the AHL. So he had a brief stint in the minors too.
That's wicked. I mean, 52 games in the show, that's nothing shake a stick at from a Newfoundland player. That's
I don't
that's a
know,
lot more than some of them. So that's still a pretty good
back in
career.
the day too, like rosters were a lot more limited than they are today. So you had to be pretty good to crack a roster for the regular season, right?
Not as many
Yeah.
teams, man. Not as many opportunities, right? So a lot less players in the league. So you had to be of a certain skill level to even play one game in the NHL. So it's really cool to see that we had a couple guys from Corner Brook who were on the same team to even be able to do that is pretty interesting, and I would have never known that. So it's pretty cool.
I see you got a Leafs jersey on there, Steven. Is it a Joe Lundgren Leafs jersey?
It's Toronto Arena's low Joe Lundgren #2.
Yeah.
Actually, there's no number, but maybe since you brought up such a Leafs legend, maybe I'll have to go get my nan to stitch a Lundgren on the back.
Oh my God! If you do that, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Man.
Next week for Newfie of the Week, I'll have the only Joe Lundgren Leafs jersey in history. Besides 20 more.
Yeah. He definitely still got his NHL sweater, man.
Oh man, I would too, man.
Yeah, I'd say he's got it framed in his basement, and that's where I'd have mine.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, the first time I seen Joe Lundgren or even heard of him, I was looking up Newfoundland like NHL cards, and I seen his beauty picture. And
he's a good-looking fellow. He's a
a handsome fellow, buddy. He's got sick hair and a nasty muzzy in his shot there. It's sick. I'll put it on the YouTube channel and the Instagram account for new listeners or listeners just of the pod. You should also check those two accounts out, as we're buzzing on there all week long,
YouTube
too.
and Instagram, man. Put it up. Yeah.
All right, Caleb. Anything else on Joey we should know?
No, that's about it. I couldn't find much. I mean, he didn't do
no coaching.
What'd you say?
No coaching career in Germany or anything?
Not like Jason Morgan. No, I think he hung up the skates after he won 2 hurders with the Royals, man. And
I would too.
Proper thing, go out a winner.
Yeah, go win, man, and get his number retired too. And Corner Brook's one of the bigger hockey towns in Newfoundland, so to get his number retired in Corner Brook, that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even have my number retired in the house. If my dog wanted to walk around with my number, man, he's got free reign to do that. So that's pretty sick.
Well, thanks, man.
Right,
thanks
Hale.
for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week, boys.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. Later. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, now me and Steve are going to go over our scoring leader predictions for the 21-22 NHL season. Just to keep it easier, we'll go alphabetical order down through the teams, and Steve will give his pick, and then I'll give mine, and we'll talk about them a bit. So if you guys don't mind, I guess we'll get it going. Steve, who do you got for Anaheim?
I have Rickard Rakell.
Good pick. Me too. Why do you like him?
I'd like him because I think he's had a few bad years where Anaheim's been a little bit off the grid and stuff. And
yeah,
I think he's got all the talent, and I think he's got good offensive instincts. And, you know, if he played on a different team, he'd get a lot more points. But I think he's going to have a bounce back here and possibly a trade piece for Anaheim as they're looking to get younger. Maybe he brings
I heard trade rumors for him too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so he only had 9 goals, 19 assists for 28 points last year, and I think that's way below what he's capable for. I think I don't know.
50
plus
points.
I think he could get 50 if the team's meshing. I don't think he'll go over 50, but I think he will lead next year. And first line time, so either playing with Zegras or I don't know who's their second liner, Sam Steele. So, and that's not bad too. Comtois led the Anaheim Ducks last year with I think 40 something points or 38 or something. So he was good last year, but I think Rickard Rakell will pass him.
I think so as well.
Who do you got for Arizona?
I chose Clayton Keller.
Hey, same. Okay, we might have the exact same list here.
I don't think so. I think there's a few ones that may fuck's sakes, we might have chose differently, but
we should have
Clayton Keller, man.
First. So if you don't mind, I'll start this one off. I'll just say his points. So last year he scored 35 points. He's obviously got a lot of skill, and he's going to have first line time. Why do you like him?
9th overall pick, man. He's got all the talent in the world again. very skilled player. He's smaller, but he's quick and he's good at passing the puck. So I think he's gonna he's just gonna have a good year.
You know who he kind of looks like to me? He looks like the left-handed Matt Barzal when he plays hockey.
Yeah.
Just smooth skating, good at passing. Not quite as good at like tough on the puck and stuff like that as Barzal, but yeah, it kind of gives me Barzal vibes.
That's cool. I've never really noticed that. I haven't watched much of him, but I know of him, and I've seen him play before, obviously, but
yeah,
I don't know too much.
I mean, you can only watch so much of Arizona games before you're like, holy fuck,
before you want to,
my life.
Yeah, you can't sit down and watch any more than 4 Arizona games in a calendar year. It's just enough to make somebody go into fucking mental. So
yeah,
don't watch any more than that. I recommend it. Doctors recommend.
4 out of 5 doctors recommend you don't watch 5 Arizona games in a year.
In a calendar year, for your mental health.
Yeah. Who do you like for Boston this year?
I got Brad Marchand. He's
same here.
scoring leader last year, and he's just an all-around good player. I feel like Pasternak's more of a sniper and a little bit more creative and stylish, but Brad Marchand just goes to the dirty areas. He draws the net, man. Every time he gets over the blue line, he's holding the puck like this, and he's going to the goalie. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so he had 69 points last year in 46 games. He plays on a line with Pastrnak and Bergeron. They're the best line in hockey right now, for my money. Maybe Colorado's got a better line, but they're sick. And I think he'll have close to 100 points this year. I think he gets in the 90s this year.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, that's only, if he stays healthy, that's only 8 points over a point per game. I think it's doable for Brad.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who do you like for Buffalo? Not that there's too much to like there, but
I don't like fucking thing in Buffalo. No. But I think this is where we might differ. I chose Casey Middlestat.
I chose Casey Middlestat.
Okay,
oh my god, we're gonna have the exact same list. Who did you think I had? Dylan Cousins or Jeff Skinner?
I felt like you had Jeff Skinner.
I feel like we're kind of sleeping on Olofsson too. Victor Olofsson.
Yeah, he was. I think he was second in points last year, but I don't know.
Was first. He led the league. Jesus Christ!
Led the league.
He led Buffalo last year in points. I think he had like 30 something, 35 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey Middlestat got 22 points last year. He's bound to break out, insane skill, and definitely going to be a first line center. First or second line center.
If there's any year for him to show that he still has that talent when they drafted him, it's this year, because there's so much room in that lineup to achieve, more ice time, more goals, more assists, more points, everything. So if there's ever a year for him to step up, it's this year. So I think he's going to do it.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Calgary, who's your guy?
Johnny Gaudreau.
Johnny Gaudreau here too, man.
All right.
We're gonna have the same list. That's 5.
I know. I think we're gonna have a few but we'll keep going.
I think I chose some, I don't know, questionable ones down the line. Anyway, why do you like Gaudreau?
I like Gaudreau because he's more of a skill player and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great all-around player. I think he has a lot of flaws defensively.
I do too, yeah.
And I think he's not very hard on the puck, but when he has the puck in a good area, he can usually do some stuff with it that most players can't. So he just gets points consistently, and I'm actually kind of surprised he's still in Calgary to a certain extent. I feel like he's going to make his way out of there one day, but he's still a really good player, and he's going to get a lot of points.
Yeah, for sure. So he scored 49 points last year. He gets a lot of PP time and plays with good players like Elias Lindholm and Sean Monahan and Dylan Dubé sometimes on the power play. He's got 6 skills, quick, and he's got a nice shot. So it'd be a safe pick to say he's your scoring leader out of Calgary. What about Carolina? I feel like we might differ here.
Sebastian Aho.
Me too.
Yeah.
Why is he your guy?
Because he's the best player on the team.
I was gonna go with Svechnikov.
Yeah, I was thinking
will
about
lead
it too.
the league, I think, in Michigan goals.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think he's a lock for Michigan goals. He was second on my list, but I went with Aho because I think he's a more complete player.
Yeah,
and I think he's I think he's just a better overall player, honestly. So
Yeah, I think Svechnikov got more of a scoring touch and flashy, but I think Aho just knows how to get points and drive offense.
yeah,
Yep. So he had 57 points last year, which is a point per game. He's gonna really break out this season, I think. Yeah, and he's definitely a top center in the league for me. Look at the cat.
yeah. She wants to get some fucking screen time here. She's been in the background. I mean, for too long. She's running around with all the hockey tank scripts and the lighting. I mean, she's the whole.
You should just get
She's
her
a director.
her own computer, and we'll set up a Zoom up there for her.
Yeah, I
TV
should.
right on the screen. If you don't mind, I'll take this one because since we're speaking of cats, I think Alex DeBrincat will lead Chicago in scoring next year.
And that's where we differ, my friend, because I have good old Patty Kane.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kane, but hear me out now. DeBrincat got 56 points last year, which is point per game. Kane, I think, got 66, I believe.
He did, yeah.
I mean, he's gonna play with Kane, and I don't know. He's a great talent. He's got an unreal shot. He's definitely going to get the most goals on Chicago, I think. Kane might take over an assist now because he's a assist machine. But I think DeBrincat's going to be very close to Kane this year, especially where Kane's starting to slow down now, I think. He's still a great player, but I don't know. He's starting to slow down, and Alex seems like he's coming into his own. So why is it Kane for you?
Because I think he's the best offensively. I think when it comes down to it, the most offensive talent on the group and from the group is him, and he drives the offense as a winger. That's not hard. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, not very many wingers can do that.
So he drives the offense from the team, and that's why I chose him. But I think ultimately, I think he's a person who makes the players better around him. I think he's a centerpiece, and I feel like if there was another guy there, a lot of the players around him wouldn't score as much. So that's why I know he's getting older, but I don't know. I got a kind of a little bit of a soft spot for him. He's been in the league a long time. Really good player.
You know what? Yeah, I wish I could change my answer now because just hearing that, he does really make the players around him a lot better because a lot of his wingers in the last like 4 years have been nobodies, and they've gone on not nobodies now because they're playing in the NHL, but not superstars, and they're scoring a lot of points because of Kane. So you're right. Who do you got for Colorado?
Nathan McKinnon.
I have Nathan McKinnon as well.
Pretty easy choice here.
Yeah.
Probably the second best player in the league for my money.
Yeah.
Powerhouse. Stride is unbelievable. Skates unbelievably in general, and powerful shot. He can shoot. He can score from the blue line. He can score from in front of the net. Pretty much anywhere. He can do pretty much anything. So he's
no sugar in the locker room, though.
No, man. No. Don't
no
even
sweets.
Fucking show up. Nothing, man. This guy's tough. But I watched the interview.
I heard if you come in and you were just after eating a Pop-Tart or something, you got a bit of icing on your lips, he'll smack the shit out of you. He'll beat the wheels off you for having a bit of icing on your lips, man. That's what I heard.
I heard that Zadorov kind of exaggerated that a bit, and he was talking about it.
No, I heard Zadorov take that back. And I think we were listening to it on Chicklets when he was on, because he was talking about it, and he was like, the boys asked Mckinnon, like, did you get mad at that? And he was like, I was pissed off for a couple days, but then I just took it with a bit of laugh, and then he come out and said that. So yeah, McKinnon, the second best player in the game for my money too. 65 points last year, so 10 points over point per game. So who's to say he won't do it again? I think he scores over 100 this year.
Yeah, me too.
Who's your guy in Columbus?
I chose Jack Roslovic.
Oh shit! I like that. I chose Patrick Laine.
Yeah,
Roslovic is an underrated, sneaky player, though. I can't believe he went in that trade with Laine. Hey, we got two people from Winnipeg. It's pretty cool.
I think Roslovic was the best player to come out of that trade.
Oh yes, boy.
I think he's got a lot of offensive talent, and I think he was very underappreciated in Winnipeg, and I think he breaks out this year and does it for a full season. Last year he had points where he was producing well on other points where he wasn't as well. But I think he's going to find consistency this year and generate offense at a high rate and lead the Columbus Blue Jackets in scoring.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I chose Patrick Laine just because I think he's got to bounce back, especially where Torts isn't there anymore. No one to bench him from playing Fortnite.
That's true.
Yeah. So I actually, honestly, I kind of hate Patrick Laine right now because he just embarrassed my Detroit Red Wings.
Oh man, Sutter, he made Sutter look like a baby.
He made cider look like an apple cider.
Yeah.
I was pissed off to see that, but I love Patrick Laine. I think he goes back to his old ways now that he's going to have a new coach. He got 24 points last season. He's, for my money, the best player on that team, except for maybe Werenski. I put Werenski over him. I don't know. Loads of skill. One of the best shots in the game. So I think that's a pretty safe pick for scoring leaders, but I like your Razovic pick too. Who's the scoring leader in Dallas for you? I think we're going to differ on this one as well.
Those Rope hints.
Holy shit, man. Me too.
He's got insane. A lot of offensive.
He does, yeah. He slipped in one of my fantasy teams, and I got him in like one of the last rounds, man. I was hyped.
Yeah, he's one of those players that nobody really talks about as being a big offensive threat, but he's actually he could score 30 goals a year and put up 40 assists. I mean, he could get 70 points. He's a really good player. And nobody talks about him, and it's unfortunate, but I think this year he's going to put up a good season, and people are going to start talking about him a lot more. And I think he probably makes All-Star game in Dallas.
He might, yeah. And you think about point per game players. Who do you think of? You think of Connor McDavid, Brad Marchand, Kane, McKinnon. You don't think of Rupe Hintz. In 41 games, he scored 43 points last year for 2 goals above point per game. So, I mean, if he does that. If he does that again, I mean, he's looking at 85 points. So to say he gets 70 points is completely on par, I think, for what he can do over, 82 games. He had
consistency is what he needs.
Exactly. He missed some time with injuries, and I think that's a big part of what was the downfall of Dallas because they didn't have Seguin or Hintz last year for a lot of the season. So, but this year I think he shares time on the first line with Seguin. If Seguin's not doing well or producing, Seguin's kind of a streaky player to me. I think he spends time on the first line and puts a lot of pucks in the back of the net.
Yeah, I agree.
Detroit, kind of not very an offensively producing team, but who do you think is going to lead the way?
I think their captain, Dylan Larkin's probably going to lead the way.
That's a safe pick. I chose Robbie Fabry here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I want to hear why you think Larkin, just because I love people hyping Larkin up.
I think he's the most complete player on the team, and a team where he's not really competing at all for any positions on the ice. He just goes out, and all he has to do is play consistently, and I think it's going to be easy for him to get upwards of, I think he can get 60 points.
I think he can get 62.
So I think
that's a good number for him, honestly.
I think he's a 60-point scorer, and I think he probably gets around 62, 63 points this year, and proves why they chose him as captain.
Yep, and that's not a bad number either for a struggling Detroit team. So
no,
I'd be very happy with that. I chose Robbie Fabry just because Dylan Larkin was injured last year, and I think it's still kind of holding him back. So I think Larkin will miss some time, but Robbie Fabry also missed some time, and he only got 18 points last year. But he's got plenty of skill, and I think Jakub Vrana's out for 4 months. Tyler Bertuzzi can't travel to Canada. So, Robbie Fabry is going to get so much time on that first line. I think he's going to put in a nice few points this year, and I think he's actually going to really break out because he looks great in every season, but he always just misses time with injury. So if he can stay healthy this year, I think this is his year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I think he's only going to get 45, 50 points on a bad Detroit team. But I think that'll still be enough to lead the way. Do I even have to ask who your player is in Edmonton?
No, I think we could skip Edmonton. We won't, but I think we
can't do that.
Too.
All right, let's hear
it. Brendan Perlini.
Yeah,
obviously, I was going to go with the joke.
Absolutely, 100%. Probably
Obviously,
100
I'm
points
gonna
this
go.
year.
Yeah.
No.
Obviously, I'm gonna go with that joke, but it's obviously Connor McFucking David.
Yeah, Connor McJesus for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, do
he's
we even have
probably
to
gonna
say anything
score.
else? Like in my notes here, I have 105 points last year in 56 games, and then but right beside I have he's Connor McDavid. Period. Like that's all you
He's
got to
Connor
say.
McDavid. He's Connor McDavid. I think we can move on. 150
Sure.
points.
150 points. I'd say he's going to get 125.
I think he's 150. Easy.
I mean, he
Write it
got
down.
105 and 51, so he's going to have 30 extra games. So you're right. I don't think he's going to score as wildly as he did in the Canadian division. But still, he's not in the best division right now. He's in the Pacific with all those bad California teams.
Literally the worst division in the league.
Exactly. So he might just have a fucking, I don't know, year for himself now. I'd like, oh man, imagine if he scores 150. I'd get goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. Florida Panthers. Who's your scoring leader here?
Alexander Barkov.
That's where we differ again. I had Jonathan Huberdeau.
I think Barkov's complete player. He has all the tools, and he just signed his big ticket there, kicking in next year for 80 mil.
Yep.
So, probably 90 points, 90 something points. I think he can achieve that, and I think it's just going to be an easy, smooth year for Florida. They got a lot of depth. I think they're going to take a run at the cup. So I see him leading the way.
Yeah, I think so too. So I chose Huberdeau because he was their scoring leader last year with 61 points, which is, I mean, 4 over point per game, or 5 over point per game. Sorry. He's sick and plays with Barkov. Barkov's just going to be dishing him the puck. He's just going to be burying biscuits. He's going to get 90 points easily. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty stacked team over in Florida, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did take a little stab at the cup there.
I think it's possible.
For sure. Who's your guy in LA?
I got the captain, Kopitar.
Yeah, Captain Kopitar for me too, man. Why do you like him?
Because he's a veteran and he's proved how good he is, and I don't really know how many more players LA has that can say that you could really say and be confident that they're going to get over 50 points a year. I think Kopitar is due for 60 to 70. I don't think he gets at 90 points like he used to.
No.
I think he sits around 60 or 70 points and has a good year and leads the way in LA.
Oh, nice little rhyme there at the end. Yeah, I chose Kopitar too. He had 50 points last year in 56 games, so it's easy to think that he can get 70 and 82 if he stays healthy. He's a sick player. He doesn't really have anyone else to play with. Maybe Arvidsson this year.
That's true, man. I forgot he was there. That's a little bit of a sneaky player.
Yeah, it is for sure. I loved him in Nashville, but anyway,
Yeah.
Fuck you, Arvidsson. We're talking about Kopitar. Get out of the way. He's got no one to play with except for that, really. But I think that might be enough. He's going to get 60 to 70, like you said. Even though he's slowing down, he's still the best player on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And the captain for a reason. I think this is another team that we don't even really have to discuss much about. Minnesota. Who are you picking?
I'm not even going to make a joke. It's fucking Kirill. It's a thrill, man.
Yep, it's Kid. Kirill
the most
thrill.
exciting player to watch in the league. I said it. I'll say it again.
In my notes right here, I have 51 points last year. Most exciting player to watch. I said great skater and a nasty shot.
He's just exciting, man. He makes the game fun. I've never had so much fun watching hockey games when he's on the ice. And it's not saying he's the best player in the world because he's not the best player in the world. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, that's Brendan Perlini.
Yeah, let's not fuck around here. Brendan Perlini's a GOAT. Best player to ever play in preseason, Brendan Perlini.
Yes, sir.
So, no, man, there's something about him, man. Just the way he carries himself and he skates. And I don't know, it's just fun to watch. And I find myself always paying a little bit more extra attention when I know he's on the ice rather than any other line in Minnesota. So, an easy pick. I got him pinned for 100 points this year, man. Shit on me if you want. He signed his big ticket, man. He's that good of a fucking player. I've watched all his games except 5 or 6 last year. So I'm telling you, man, this dude has it all. There's a reason they signed him for that big deal. So
I don't think he scores 100 points until Marco Rossi is in the league. I think Marco Rossi will elevate him over 100 points.
Yeah.
I don't know who the center is.
They're
the
playing with
center?
Eriksson right now. The preseason
Yeah,
has
I
been.
mean Eriksson is a better defensive player than an offensively driving player. So I think in 2 years when Rossi comes into his own and takes on that first line role, I think he gets over 100 then. But for right now, I think he's 85, 90 points for me, but still the scoring leader of the Wild, no doubt. What about Montreal?
Nick Suzuki. I think this is the year he really. What did you choose?
You already said it for me, man. Nick Suzuki.
All right, I didn't. Sorry to go ahead there.
Hey, man, no worries.
I think it's the year he finally takes over the team, and it's kind of his group. As I feel like he's a future captain, and he hasn't led Montreal in scoring yet. So I think this is when he finally achieves that. I don't see Montreal as a team that's got a lot of high point scorers. I see him as a team that plays well, but it's not like they got a superstar to score a lot of points. So I can see him around 50 to 60 points. Honestly, if he scored 61 points in 82 games, I think he'd lead Montreal.
Yeah, I was hard pressed not to pick Caulfield or Toffoli, but I think Toffoli is kind of a player. He's pretty much the player version of the Philadelphia Flyers. Just shit one year, good the next. Shit one year, good the next. So I think he has a down year, and I think Nick Suzuki has an up year. I think him and Caulfield are going to provide a lot of offense for Montreal, and I think he'll lead it. So Suzuki had 41 points last year, and he's the only person on this team I can see with a consistent role on the first line. Because who the fuck else are they going to play up there? Yeah, so he's always going to be getting the top minutes. So he's going to have the most chances on ice to score.
It's not bad for me to say like he's gonna, because Montreal's not a team that scores a lot of goals like that. So I mean, if I think Montreal's a good all around team, so I think it's reasonable for him to get anywhere from 61 points to 69 points. I think he's gonna fit in there somewhere.
Very specific. I like it. Who do you like from Nashville?
Roman Josi, because I don't really know if the forwards know how to play hockey in Nashville. I think they go to Nashville. They sign for a fuck ton of money, absolute fuck ton of money, and they just forget how to play the game altogether. So Roman Yoshi's kind of in there scratching his balls and shaking his head like, what am I doing, man? What, like, do I have to score? I mean, I got to defend. You know, I got to play 22 minutes. I got to wear the C.
Play goalie.
I got to block shots, man. I got to score. He probably leads his team in scoring, blocks, hits, shots.
And kills, I'd say too.
Does he have a wife? Fellow. I don't know.
He must take down some broads on Broadway, man.
Yeah, he's a good-looking fellow, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he leads them in everything.
Led the league. Jesus, why do I keep saying that, man? He led the team in scoring last year, so he could do it again. I picked Philip Forsberg. I think he's the best forward on that team. He got 32 points last year. I think he gets first line. I mean, Duchesne and Johansson are kind of like, they could go either way. So I don't see them both. I don't know. Those are the second best forwards on that team, but even then they've been pretty shaky the last couple of years. So I think he gets first line and a lot of time on the PP.
Definitely.
Yep. And the rest of the team are just poo-poo.
I don't know if it's a compliment to be called the best forward in Nashville, because it's not really saying much.
Second best forward behind Roman Josi.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know me and you like a certain player on this team. So who's your guy in New Jersey?
Hischier. Nico Hischier.
Really? I picked Jack Hughes.
Yeah, I like Jack Hughes, but I think Hischier's the captain. I think he gets more ice time. If he can stay healthy, because he's had some troubles with health the last few years. If he stays healthy, I think he is, again, much like a Suzuki, a 60, 70 point guy in a full 82 game season.
Yeah.
So, and he plays well in all zones, and he's really like, I don't think people talk enough about it. He's kind of sneaky, like Datsuk sneaky with the puck. He's not comparing him on that same level, but he's got that same kind of swagger. You know, just he'll lift your stick, take the puck, or you know, do a quick little toe drag, and you don't expect it. So I like that part of his game too.
Yeah, for sure. I wish we could have watched more of him in the preseason. I think he's I think he's maybe only played a couple of games, if any, because I think he's been coming back from an injury. But
Yeah.
oh wait, oh fuck me, I was talking about my player then. No, he sure is. Yeah, he sure is a lot like that too, man. For some reason, I thought you were talking about Jack Hughes, and I was getting a big head then. No, he
No,
sure
he's
is.
your man.
Yeah, no, he sure is a great player though. I was talking about Jack Hughes come back from injury. I'm an idiot.
It's all right, man. Keep going.
I have my mind on Jack Hughes. God damn it. Yeah, Hughes has got 31 points. I think he last season, breakout season incoming. I think he might split the first line with Heishier, depending on the wingers. If the first line wingers play better with Jack Hughes, I think you might get time up there. Um, in all of his interviews, he's just been talking about how hard he's working and how much he wants this out of this season to be the best season of his career. So I think Hughes has a huge year.
I think so too.
Yeah, it could go either way. I think those two guys are pinned, Heishier and Hughes. I think are both pinned at 60 to 70 point range.
Yeah, if you follow Hockey Tank on Instagram, which you probably don't, but if you do, you'll see that we shared a post on our story the other day, and it was projecting Jack Hughes' point totals for this season. I put it up, and I projected 55 points. I think that's where he sits this year. He's close to his breakout. I think he needs a little bit more experience, another full year in the league, and maybe next year he'll get the 70 plus points that he's capable of.
Yeah, for sure. At some point in his career, he's going to be a consistent point per game, I think.
I think so too.
As New Jersey grows, you can't expect a player to go to
Yeah.
New Jersey and be point per game. So all in good time.
That's a fucking that's not believable. So
What about over in the island, New York Islanders?
I'm sure we picked the same guy here.
Barzal. Does it? Yeah. Barzal. I mean, who else is it going to be? What other forwards on that team are capable of doing?
He's just so dynamic. So
yeah, he is.
He's on another level than the rest of that team offensively. Yeah. And I think if he played on any other team in the league, literally any other team in the league, he'd be over a point per game.
Man, you're taking words right out of my mouth. You're taking words right out of my mouth today, man. I had the exact same thing wrote down. I had 45 points last year. He's a star in the league, and he'd be 1 point per game in any other system but Trotz. He was playing for any other head coach that said, like, even if a coach just said, Buzz, I don't give a fuck what you do. Go out there and play pond hockey for all I care. It's like he put up more than what he does in Trotz's defensive system.
Yeah. So easy pick.
I think that's a pretty safe pick for Islanders scoring leader. Yeah. What about the New York Rangers? They expected to have a really good year this year.
Gerard Gallant on the bench.
Yeah.
I got like Patrick Kane, not many wingers drive offensive forces for teams, usually the center. Panarin drives offense for this team. When he was missing last year, they went on a really bad losing streak. He was injured for a little while, or I don't know if it was injury or he had that political situation in Russia. I'm not sure what it was, but he was gone for a little while.
I think he had both. I think it was I think he got injured a bit in the Tom Wilson mix-up. He was out for a couple games, and then he come back, and then he went away for the political shit.
So they were a lot better when he was in the lineup, and he drives this team's offense. Zibanejad's good. Strome is good. All the young guys are good, but without Panarin, this New York Rangers team drops significantly.
Yep, absolutely. I had the exact same thing. Artemi Panarin, Breadman. He missed, I think, 3 weeks of last season between injury and gone back or trying to get his family out of Russia. I don't know if that was the situation. That's what I'm calling it, though.
Like the mafia.
Yeah, man. I think the mafia were legit like, stop badmouthing our president or we'll kill your family. And then he was like, fuck, now I got to get my family out of Russia.
Yeah. Tough situation.
Imagine if everybody in the United States that shit on Trump, their families got whacked, man. There'd be nobody fucking left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Artemi Panarin missed 3 weeks last season, still put up 58 points. Fucking beauty. He's a superstar. He missed a lot of time last year, but this year he's going to be at least a 90-point guy.
Yeah, at least.
I think he's probably the second best winger in the NHL, right behind Kucherov.
He's definitely there.
Yeah. What about Ottawa? I know it's pretty tough to pick a great forward right now in Ottawa, but if you had to pick, who's your scoring leader?
I got Josh Norris as our scoring leader. He had a great
Nice.
rookie season last year.
He did, yeah.
So
I had Timmy Jimmy Stutzla.
yeah,
And that's just because I'm a huge Stutzel fan. I think I'm a bit biased. What do
because
you
you
like
got a
Norris?
Sutter, so you like the Germans.
Yeah, loves Germans, but
Good thing we're not in 1940s.
yeah, I don't think I'd be so biased back then. I don't think many of them were playing hockey at this point.
Anyways, enough political talk. These last few minutes have been very
Yes, holy fuck, man.
We should start a political podcast next.
Jeez.
Yeah. I got Josh Norris because he's a solid centerman. He's probably going to be their first line center. He was a first line center last year, actually, for the most part, because they don't have much center depth, as we all know. Colin White's gone too, so he doesn't have to compete with him. I don't even know who their centermen are off the top of my head. Chris Tierney, maybe. So, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you can't get past Chris Tierney, just hang him up. So, I think Josh Norris is going to have a good look this year, and I think he's probably more like a Detroit point leaders total, 50 points. Maybe he gets 50 points, 48, 50, 52, something like that.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Stutzel or Stutzla? I don't know how to fucking say that name.
Me neither, man. I go back and forth so much between Stutzla and Stutzel. It's unreal. But
so what do
I'm
you
going
think?
Stutzla. I think you pronounce the L at the end instead of the American L. I don't know. Anyway, enough of this fucking language history friggin'
Political
here. He had 29 points last year in his rookie season, so I mean, not bad for first year getting used to the American ice or the North American ice. I think he's the best active player on the Sens. I think when Brady comes back, he might be challenged a bit for that number one or the number one in Ottawa spot, but for right now, I think he's the best active. I think he puts up a bare minimum next year of 50 points. And I mean, that's only 20 more points than last year, and last year was shortened, right? So I think he's chalked in for the second line left wing spot, but as long as Brady stays out, I think he'll be in the top line there.
Yeah.
So I think two good picks. I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those picks because who knows out of Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Philadelphia?
In Philly, I chose Sean Couturier.
Nice pick, yeah.
I think he's the most complete player in the organization now, and I think he's going to overtake Giroux as a captain eventually if he ever decides to fuck off or not. Because I feel like Giroux's been there since the Big Bang and everything. I mean, this dude.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Philadelphia, I think of Giroux, man, because he's been there forever. So I think Couturier is getting to a point in his career where he's in his prime now. He's been a while since he's been drafted. He's just a really complete player, and he finds a way to put up points and plays well defensively. I think this is a year where he gets 70, 80 points. I mean, he was over point per game last year.
I think he was points leader last year, yeah.
So who did you go with?
I went with Travis Konechny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good pick too, man. He's sneaky good.
For sure, yeah. I love this kid, man. So he had 34 points last year, but he's going to be getting first-line time with Giroux and Couturier this year. I think this is his team in 5 years. I mean, Couturier is going to be the captain if Giroux fucks off, but I think Konechny is going to be the big points producer here in the next 5 years, and I can see it getting started with next year. I think he goes just under point per game next year, and gets a scoring title for Philadelphia.
Yeah, see it.
What about Pittsburgh?
I chose Jake Gensel.
Nice.
Pittsburgh.
I was either between Brian Rust, because I love Brian Rust, or Sidney Crosby, but I had to go with Crosby.
Yeah, I went with Gensel because I think there's a lot of underlying. I think there's a lot of underlying things going on in Pittsburgh. There's so many players in and out of the lineup, and I think Jake Gensel's more. He's not as injury prone. He seems like he's in the lineup more, and I feel like he's proven himself in the last little while that he doesn't. For a lot of his first few years in the league, it was more of a narrative that Sidney Crosby was really the reason he was so successful. But with the Crosby and Malkin being in and out of the lineup so much lately, it's really put a spotlight on him, and he can show that he's, he can be a really successful NHL player without those guys. So he's done it, man, because there were so many injuries. Played well with Crosby out of the lineup, with Malkin out, and I think he's a really good player, and he's going to get probably 70 points, 60. He's in that 60-point range again, I think. 70 points, even more. I think he could get more.
I think he's going to miss a week or two because I think he's out with COVID right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he comes back, he's going to be a force this year, especially where they're just going to be leaning on him a lot more for offense.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to choose Sidney Crosby here because your points projection for Gensel was around 60 points. Well, Crosby got that last year in 56 games. He had 62 points last year. I think he goes points per game again. I think he's not even a question the best player on this team. I don't think anybody will argue me there. And I think he drags Pittsburgh into the playoffs once again. That's how good I think this guy still is.
Yeah.
I think Crosby's going to miss 2 weeks with recovering from his surgery. I think he comes back and just goes off again this year because he loves it when the pressure is on him.
And maybe I didn't say enough points for Gensel, but I just think he's just that type of player who's going to eventually lead the team in points, no matter what the point totals are.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you. It's way too early in the season to know for sure. And if Gensel plays with Crosby, I mean, Crosby might just, play a more defensive role and really just give it up to Jake. So yeah, no, it's I'll be interested to see what happens there. What about in San Jose? Who's your guy here?
Thomas Soto.
Nice.
If he doesn't get traded.
Yeah. Did you see the anniversary of his 4-point game in his 19-year-old season?
That was, I remember seeing that. I
remember seeing that the next day on Sports Center. I was like,
same.
This kid fucking did that, and I'm pretty sure right after he did that, EA was like, "Fuck, we got to jack this guy's overall," and I'm pretty sure
86,
they made him
medium elite, 86 medium elite.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but he's a really good player. I think he's probably the best offensive player on that team.
Yeah. Do you think he gets the nod on first line over Couture?
I don't think so, but I don't think it'll matter because I think it's one of those situations where the top six is rolling in and out anyways.
Yeah, true.
So, I don't know. I think he's just more offensively gifted than Logan Couture.
I think so too. Well, look, Couture had it, but Jesus, Couture had it back in the day, but I think it's really starting to shift over to Hurdle too now. But surprisingly enough, I didn't pick Hurdle. I picked Timo Meier just because.
Oh yeah, he's a good goal scorer.
He is, yeah, and I think he's going to get a lot of points this year just because he's going to be consistently on the first line and get a lot of time on a PP. Last year, he put up 31 points in a short season on a bad San Jose team. He's a first-line star winger. He's got a great shot and a lot of hockey sense. So
yeah,
I think he plays a lot with Hurdle and Couture. And
I think that's a good pick.
That's a great season for him. I can't give you a point projection. I would think just under point per game, or maybe even closer to 60, 70 points. But nonetheless, I think he's going to have a better year than he did last year.
Yeah.
Who is your guy in St. Louis?
Did you skip Seattle?
I sure did, man. Who's your guy in Seattle? Fuck Seattle. Seattle hater number one right here. Public enemy number one.
You got a jersey on the way.
Yeah. Until that jersey comes here, I got to see how good the jersey looks in person. And then I'll decide if I like Seattle or not.
Yeah, right.
It's my job right now to not have Seattle in another video or another podcast.
All right. Well, you're failing.
Who's your scoring leader?
I think it's the same as you.
I think mine's different than yours.
Who's yours?
David Schwartz.
David Schwartz.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is David Schwartz?
Jaden Schwartz. I was looking at it. I was looking at the next name on my list.
Oh, you told me who is in St. Louis. You gave it away.
Anyway, so Schwartz is my guy.
Jeez, I thought for sure you would have put Eberle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big Eberle guy.
Wholesome. I am a huge Everly guy.
Yeah, call you the big red Eberle or whatever the fuck his name is.
Cliff, Caillou, the big red dog. Fucking loves
Yeah.
that.
He's been in the league for so long, and he's been consistently good for so long that I think he's probably just going to have 50 to 60 points. Again, like I said, I don't think Seattle's a big offensive threat. I think they're more of a threat in their two-way style of play. So I don't know if they're going to score a lot of goals, but I don't think they're also going to get scored on a lot. So
Yeah, true.
I think he's going to find his way to get 50, probably 60, 65 points and lead the team is my guess. But let's hear why you think Schwartz.
Yeah, so Schwartz last year I don't know, I think he was out for a bit. I think he played only like 45 to 50 games, scored 21 points, which isn't great. But he's going to have less competition, I think, now in Seattle. I think he's the guy in Seattle now. He's got a great shot. We'll get every chance in Seattle this year. But yeah, now that I think about it, Everly probably is the safer pick just because he was so offensively good for the Islanders, even in that defensive system they have there, where friggin' St. Louis was more just run and gun. So, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Schwartz
Who
or
knows?
Everly, I think.
We got to wait and
Or
see.
Jared
That's the
McCann.
fun.
Jared McCann,
That's fun.
who gets a point per
Yeah.
game.
The best third line center in the league.
Yeah,
Best third line, first
center.
line center. Yeah. It's going to be cool to look back at this, though. I mean, maybe we'll look back
Yeah.
end of
I
the
think
season.
Oliver projections.
Yeah, so I mean, when the season's over and we know the playoff order, we'll have a hockey tank episode. Oh shit! What just happened to my computer? We'll have a hockey tank episode, and we'll talk about our projections and see who was right, who was wrong, and we'll have a little bit of a laugh about that.
Yeah, for sure. Who do you like in St. Louis this year?
Ryan O'Reilly for me, and you have
nice.
David Perron.
I got David Perron, yeah, and I can't wait to talk about him. But first, I want to hear about why you think a Selke winner can overpass David Perron in points.
I think probably anybody could overpass David Perron in points.
Oh,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's my heart right now, man.
He's a good player, man. He's a really good player. He has, I was looking up, doing a bit of research for my little list here, and I looked up St. Louis point totals, and it kind of caught me off fucking guard. I seen David Perron had like 60 points last year, 60 something points.
Yeah, I'll talk about it, buddy. I
was like, holy fuck, man! I thought
David Perron is my Cam Talbot right now. I think.
Yeah, that's a fair pick.
Yeah, but why Rhino?
I don't know, man. He's captain, and he gets the ice time. He led him to a cup, man. He knows how to play the game the right way, and he plays hard. That's basically my only reasoning for choosing him there.
Yeah, and Ryan O'Reilly loves just dishing the puck. He's not a huge goal scorer. He gets a lot more assists than he does. So if Vladimir Tarasenko stays, and imagine Ryan O'Reilly just feeding Tarasenko in like Kucherov's little spot there on the hash marks, and Vlad is just ripping one-timers.
Yeah,
I think
Tarasenko's going to change that dynamic there too, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think that could hurt my guy, David Perron. So last year, Tarasenko was out most, if not all of the year, right? So, but David Perron scored 58 points, and I wish I could go back, and that's in 56 games. I wish I could go back to our underrated players video, and I wish I could say this guy because I never knew how good he was. David Perron, like who the fuck talks about David Perron in the league?
Nobody.
I've never heard anybody last year say, "Shit, man, you know what? That David Perron kid, he's doing decent there out there in St. Louis." Nobody talks about David Perron, man. He's so underrated, man. He's 2 points over point per game. And without Schwartz, he's definitely going to get a bit more time. It's probably going to be Perron and Tarasenko on that first line, even though they're both right wingers, I think. Or no, he's a left winger. He's
I'm
a
not sure. I just know he's a winger.
Because Schwartz is a right winger, isn't he?
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, he's a winger, so he probably play on the first line. If not, then he'll definitely be on the PP because the kid fucking got 58 points last year, man. He's a beauty. Fucking love this guy.
I definitely forgot how good of a hockey player he was. So it's cool to see him on the list.
Wasn't he drafted by St. Louis, traded to Edmonton, and then traded back to St. Louis or something like that?
He was in Vegas.
David Perron.
He was in an expansion draft, man. He went in the
Fuck
expansion
off.
draft.
No, he wasn't. Are you serious?
Then he re-signed back in St. Louis. Yeah, I'm serious.
Haha. I never knew that.
He played that first year in Vegas.
Huh.
Yeah.
Jeez, maybe if he lit it up, he'd still be there.
He
Nah,
did
I'd say he
lit it
wanted
up,
to go back to St. Louis. Look what he did in St.
Probably.
Louis, 58 points. Fucking
Yeah.
legend. What about Tampa Bay? I feel like we differ here because I feel like you got a bit of a bias on one of these players.
Kucherov.
Hey, same. I thought you were gonna say Braden Point.
Yeah, I do have a bias on Braden Point. I think he's one of the best players in the league. And
No, I do too. He's definitely. I will see this year. I was about to call him a top 10 center, but needs.
I think he's a top 10 center. I think he's a top 10 center.
I don't
Any
know.
guy who leads a
There's
team.
a lot of great centers right now in the game.
Any guy who leads a team to 2 cups is a top 10 center, in my opinion.
That's true. But yeah, you can't go wrong saying Nikita Kucherov is going to be that scoring leader there.
I think Point is unbelievable, but I think when it all comes down, when all the cards are on the table, Kucherov's better offensively.
Yeah, so do I. And I mean, if Kucherov wasn't in the league, I'd say Marin was the top center in the league, but I mean the top winger in the league. But Kucherov is just amazing. I don't know, he's the best.
Number one bullshit.
Number one bullshit. Who's the goalie for Vegas? They talk about the number one bullshit, Vasilevsky.
Yeah. He doesn't know. I bet you this guy Kucherov doesn't know a fucking clue about NHL history, NHL players. Like, he just goes and lights it up and gets his paycheck and goes home.
Yeah, I bet he's just dusting people out there, and they're like, "Whoa, you just got around like the best player in the NHL." You go, who fucked that?
Number one bullshit player.
Fuck. Yeah, I was listening to a Steven Stamkos interview, and he says, "Dude, he is not like that, but he just got fired up and got onto beers." And man, he says he's not like that in public, but he says he's so funny in the locker room, always getting on with shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's hilarious, and yeah.
I like to have a
Great.
couple of beers with him.
Oh man, imagine the time you'd have.
Yeah.
He's definitely Chief Schneep, though. I'd say he gets right on the angel dust.
Oh.
I'd say all the Russians do, man. Friggin'
Yeah,
all the Russians in the league, man. They can't do PEDs anymore, so they go right to the Koki.
Oh. I believe it.
Sorry to friggin' run over the Russian team. Man, dude, that Olympic team, Russia's Olympics team is just gonna be fucking out of their mind. They're all gonna be just ripped on coke, running over everybody in that tournament.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
they're gonna injure everybody in the league.
Yeah, sorry to expose all the Russians, but yeah, Nikita Kucherov, greatest winger in the league. He scored 0 points last year, but he had 0 games played, so I guess he was point per game. Honestly.
But he also led the playoffs in scoring.
True, yeah, and he could have won the Conn Smythe if Vasilevsky wasn't
easily
the best goalie in the world by head and shoulders. So, yeah, best shot on the team, gets plenty of power play points, and is great 5-on-5 too. Leads the league in Kucherov goals this year too. I'm calling it now.
Leads the league in Kucherov goals.
Yeah, the no move. Like
yeah. Oh, geez, you got me all fucked up then. Yeah, I think you're right.
Leads the league in points scored by Nikita Kucherov.
Yeah.
Oh man. Who's your guy in Toronto?
Matthews.
I said Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. What's your Matthews argument?
Matthews is by far the best player in the Leafs. That's my argument.
You know what? My counter argument to that was Mitch Marner's the best Leaf on the team. That's legit what I got wrote down right beside his name. So I think our argument's kind of
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
I heard a rumor that Austin Matthews got charged trying to deliver coke over the border. You hear that?
Really? I don't know if
man. You know who made the citizen's arrest?
Who?
Cole Caulfield.
I'm
joking. That's all bullshit. No, that's just
yeah. I was gonna say, I figured Toronto media would have a field day with a story like that.
Oh man, imagine. Yeah, he gets like fucking shit on all summer for us like harassing a security guard. Man, imagine he was delivering coke over the border. He was delivering to the Russia team. He was delivering it to Tampa Bay because they won the playoffs.
Yeah, him and Kuznetsov.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Matthews is probably gonna win the Rocket Richard this year. So it wouldn't surprise me if he led in points, because even if he gets 50 goals, I mean, that's only halfway to 100 right there.
Yeah, I think he's capable of getting 60 goals 1 year. 1 year.
We'll see.
We'll
I think the
see.
last person to do that was Stamkos, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Stamkos was really good early in his career.
I got Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner led the Leafs in scoring last year with 67 points. He's the best Leaf on the team for my money, and will definitely score over 100 this year. He's just a regular season beast. I mean, people shit on him for what he can do in the playoffs, but if you're just looking at regular season, there's no one better on that team.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, it could go
To
either
a certain
way.
extent, but yeah, it's just either way. I mean, if they are there, I mean, they're only a few points apart, anyways.
Yeah,
So.
and man, who knows? Mitch Marner could be doing an insurance commercial and break his fucking neck. So
Yeah, intact insurance, man. Jesus Christ.
His mom's gonna be making him cereal, and his mom's gonna make him pancakes, and he's gonna break his back like like friggin' who's that guy, Dustin Penner? Or no?
I don't remember.
Oh man, so he said in the newspaper, like, he hurt his back and wasn't at practice in the LA media. What was his name? David Penner, Dustin Penner, something Penner.
Penner, yeah. Is it Dustin? I'm not sure.
I think I just got that in your name. I know it's not Dustin. I'm thinking about Dustin Brown.
Yeah.
It's something.
I've
Penner,
heard of
though.
Penner before, man.
Yeah, me too, man. But anyway, yeah, he didn't show up to practice one day. So the LA media was like, "What happened, man?" He was like, "Oh, I sat down to eat pancakes that my wife made me, and I fucking hurt my back."
Must have been a good feed, man.
Oh, what a feed you'd have to break your back.
Yeah, jeez, man. I'm surprised my back's still alive here, man. All the turkey I ate.
Turkey. Yeah, I mean, if the turkeys were shaped like little UFOs, man, you'd probably have a broken back right now too.
Yeah, man.
I'll send you that article, man. Because, oh man, when I read that, I died laughing at it.
All right.
Vancouver. Who's your scoring leader?
The newly signed Elias Pettersson.
Nice.
I think
me too.
he's gonna have another comeback year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
I
think he's the best player on the team.
I do too.
To cut you out.
Yeah, head and shoulders, man. It's not even close.
Yeah. So much talent.
He scored 21 points last year in an injury-riddled season. He's just got a new contract inked, and I think he'll perform great this year. Like, I don't know. He's best player on that team for sure, though.
I think he's 70-point guy, man. Every year.
I think he's point per game this year. I mean,
70 or 80, yeah.
I think he's coming off a obviously bad season where he wasn't playing as much as he'd like to, but I mean, he was still on the ice practicing and working out. So I don't know. He just needs to get in a game mode. I think he's going to have a bad October and maybe start of November, but after that, I think he gets on his horse and he just absolutely runs over this league. I think he's point per game this year.
Yeah, he's definitely got all the talent for it. He's Vancouver's number one weapon. So
oh yeah,
he's going to be getting the ice time.
What about Vegas Golden Knights?
I chose Mark Stone.
Ooh, I chose Max Pacioretty.
Oh yeah, Max Pacioretty is still sneaky good in this league.
He is, yeah, but Stone did lead the team in points last year.
Yeah.
Stone was unreal last year. I remember my buddy drafted him in fantasy, and I was like, "You fucking loser! You just drafted a two-way defensive forward. Like, what are you doing?" And then
he was over point per game, I think.
Yeah, he was, because Pacioretty was 51, and I know Mark Stone was like, I think Mark Stone might have got 61. Yeah, but Mark Stone spanked my fantasy team every week last year when I was playing Buddy. So kind of.
Yeah, he's a really good player, man. He's just one of the best players in the league, and defensively, like you said, and offensively, he has it all. And he was a later draft pick by Ottawa, so that's a really good.
Yeah,
pick.
I can't believe I didn't know who this guy was when he was coming up through Ottawa. Like, I didn't really know who he was until he broke out that year in Ottawa.
I seen him a nice bit because it was always when his rookie season stuff. It was Toronto versus Ottawa, stuff like that. He had a really good rookie season too.
Yeah, I don't disbelieve it.
Yeah.
I chose Max Pacioretty just because he got 51 points last year. He takes a shit ton of shots. Like, he probably takes like 3 or 4 shots, or even more a game. Like, he's always just ripping shots. So
yeah,
I think he had some bad bounces last year. Not everything was going his way. But yeah, I think he drives the offense on that line of Stone. And who's your top line center? It's not
it was Chandler Stevenson.
Yeah, I don't know who it is now, but
I don't know. They don't really have a top line center.
No, I don't think so. I think is Chandler Stevens still there?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think he is on the top line. So he's definitely not driving offense on that line. So I think
No.
it's Pacioretty. But he plays with Stone anyway, and Stone racks up the assists.
Yeah,
Like Stone will probably have like, I don't know,
a fuck ton of assists.
a shit ton of assists. I think he could probably
Yeah.
go point per game just for assists if he had a really good year.
Yeah,
But,
he's not much of a shooter.
No, that's Patch's job. So I think Patches
Yeah.
throws up like 35 to 40 goals this year and probably mixes in a good like 50 assists.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, what about the Washington Capitals? Who's your scoring leader here?
I chose Ovi.
Okay, nice pick.
I think he's the best player in the team. I think he's wants to get 50. I hope he gets 50. I think he's going to be in the 40 to 50 range. And, Ovi always puts up 30 something assists for something like that. So
Yeah.
he's going to be in the goal column a lot. And I think he's going to get his fair share of assists. So if he leads his team with 89 points or something like that, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, true. I chose the other Rooski. I chose Kuznetsov.
Oh, yeah.
He's just going to be feeding Ovi all season long. Plus, he has 6 hands, great shot, and he's always on the power play. Just you got like Backstrom down in the corner, Kuznetsov in the slot, and Ovi in his pocket there on the left. And I mean that's your first line power play right there. And then John Carlson and I don't know, some other bum. It doesn't even matter. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say another bum, but Oshie's no bum either. So yeah, I mean he's gonna get so many power play points this year, I think, just on a line with Ovi.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I think John Carlson actually steals a lot of power play points, though, because it usually goes Carlson to Ovi and then back the net. So
yeah, he gets a lot of points on that power play. Washington's had a good power play for a long time.
Yeah, they have. Unreal. I forgot to mention too, Kuznetsov scored 29 points last year. So I think Ovi did lead the team last year. I think Ovi got.
I think it was Backstrom actually.
I think Backstrom only. I was gonna say only. I think Backstrom got like 49 to 55 points or something last year.
Oh yeah, I thought I've seen it. When I was
Who knows? Yeah, I'll check after this game. Finally, Winnipeg Jets. Who do you think's gonna lead the team?
I got somebody. I don't know if you got this one. I got Kyle Connor.
That's my guy. That's my fucking guy. Yes, man. I love Connor.
He's I think he's gonna break out as the best offensive player in Winnipeg. I think he's that good. He's only young too. I mean, he's younger than Scheifele and Wheeler, and he's gonna play top line with those guys. I think that's one of the better lines in hockey too when they're all together. I think it's up there with Boston and Colorado. I mean, Wheeler, Scheifele, and Connor is not a fucking line to joke around with.
No, sir.
So they're getting a lot of points, and I think he's a really good sniper, man. He can get 40 goals.
I think he's going to be in the Rocket talk this year.
Yeah, definitely. Good chance for that to be.
Yeah.
So he's your pick too?
He's my pick too, man. He had 50 points last year, right on the button. He's sick at hockey, first line, awesome shot. Like I said, they're going to be in the Rocket Richard trophy talk for sure.
Definitely.
I think he's going to put up 35 to 40 goals this year and probably tack on another 40 assists.
Yeah, probably 80, 90 point range.
Yeah, probably right up there with Scheifele. It was between him and Scheifele for me.
Yeah, me too. But Blake Wheeler, I mean, he could have been easily been in there too. I mean, he gets a lot of points as well. Nobody really talks about that, man. Wheeler gets his points every year. So
yeah, Nikolai Ehlers too is a really good coming up player.
Yeah, he's like starting to make some really good progression.
Yeah, for sure. So I think after Wheeler starts to decline, he'll take his spot on the first line. And I mean, if you got Ehlers, Connor, and Scheifele on that first line, that is so dangerous. But yeah,
very dangerous. Yeah, Winnipeg got some good offensive pieces there.
So. Yeah, they got a great thing going, and their goalie, I'd say, I for my money, Hellebuck's probably the second best goalie in the league. So,
yeah, he's up. He's definitely top 5.
Yeah, he's unreal, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch him play for the Ice Caps?
No, I never.
I think he was. I think Hellebuck was in St. John's for a little bit while the Ice Caps were here. I never got to see him play. The closest I got was I've seen Eric Comrie play here. And who was that Montreal Canadiens goalie that I thought was going to be sick? Zach Fucali. I seen him play here, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
eyes were locked on him. I was drooling, man. I was like, dude, Zach McCallie, he's gonna get his reps. He's gonna get his reps, but I don't even know
Never
where the hell
made
the
it.
guy is now. Is he in
No, man.
Vegas? I feel
I
like
don't
he's in
know, man.
Vegas for some
He was
reason.
hyped up. He was supposed to be the
Next Carey Price,
Carey
man.
Price. Yeah, but never really worked out. I remember he turned out really good in an old NHL games, but
Oh yeah, oh big time.
yeah.
When was he drafted? Like 2013 or something?
Yeah, he's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it for
Yeah. Thanks for
scoring leaders.
sticking with us, folks. I hope you enjoyed our scoring leader predictions. I had a lot of fun doing that, and
It's gonna be fun to look back on.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that me and Steve do have a YouTube account, the Hockey Tank Podcast, as well as an Instagram account, just
Hockey Tank Podcast. Oh, is it Hockey
I
Tank?
think
Yeah,
it's just
there's no
Hockey Tank for
podcast.
using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was our pre-podcast, and we just used to do hockey content, or Steve used to do hockey content on it. But I weaseled my way in here, and somehow we got a podcast now. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking with us. I hope you had as much fun as we did.
Yeah.
I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and happy holidays if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Happy
thank you.
life.
Yeah,
you don't
happy
celebrate
life.
Thanksgiving.
I want to send a special thank you to our buddy in Virginia. Thanks for listening again. You at least listened to the first 10 minutes. And our friend in
Every
Germany.
week.
I hope you're not Jason Morgan and not too mad at us. But guy in Germany, you also rock. So
yeah, let's go. I hope you guys tune in this episode and keep tuning in. So we'll see you next week.
Yeah. So throw us a follow on the Instagram, and you'll
subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. All right. See you, Steve.
See ya.
Have a good week, and we'll reconvene next Sunday.
All right, man.
All right. See you later.